his benefits. Call today, 205-635-7467 or Simpio.com.
All right, Jimbo Fisher, after the win over Auburn and what he saw when Max Johnson was forced in the action with the game in the balance.
You've talked a lot about having two quarterbacks, which just isn't a luxury you've had in years past. How good is that now that something like this happens?
It's huge. It's critical. I mean, you're going to play. You can't. I'll take three. I mean, you never know. I mean, you're because that's a unique position, and you're one play away from something happening. And it's not just them. Guy falls into him, steps on him. That's basically what happened to him. He was stepping forward on the play, and their feet come together, whatever it looked like on what happened. But I mean, you can't have enough good quarterbacks, and we're blessed to have them. And we got some guys behind him. But Max was outstanding on the day and coming in and what he did.
It really was. Almost looked better.
He did look better.
That offense was going nowhere fast with Wegman in there.
Yeah, and that one throw, I know we talked about it in postgame, but the one throw back of the end zone to Evan Stewart was beautiful.
From Max Johnson. Yeah, it was quickly after he came in there, made that touchdown throw. But that offense was a little bit messy with Wegman in there. Again, that's another team. You know, I said this about Ohio State, and Klatt disagree with me a little bit. Sometimes a team wins and they confirm what you feared about them, and A&M's kind of that way for me. That was a win Saturday. I get it, 27-10. You won that game fairly comfortably on the surface, but there are a lot of concerns from that A&M team coming out of that win for me.
Yeah.
Most of them on the offensive side of the ball.
If there wasn't enough after the Miami loss, against a pretty below the line, as Klatt calls it, Auburn team, did not look spot on. Deion Sanders' team got it handed to them by Dan Lanning in Oregon. You heard from Dan Lanning in our first segment of the show. So in our final segment, here's Deion Sanders, who gets all the prime time coverage again this week at 11 a.m. on Fox. USC and Colorado with the big noon kickoff back in Boulder again to lead into that game. So a lot of coverage. Deion still accepting a loss, but taking receipts.
It's a good old-fashioned butt kicking. It's no excuses, no nothing. Their coaches did a heck of a job preparing their team. Obviously, we didn't. People around the country would say this is what they needed to humble themselves. We wasn't arrogant or whatever. We're confident people. If our confidence offends your insecurity, that's a problem with you. It's not us. We expect to do well. We expect to play well. We expect to win every game we step out there. We expect to practice to perfection and go out there and execute the things that we practice. We just didn't do it today. But it's not something that was needed. It's just like saying you get in a car wreck or something. Oh, he needed that to slow him down. You don't need that. That's just stupid. It's just something that happened, and they got the best of us today. That's just it. I don't say stuff just to say it for a click, you know, contrary to what some may say. But, I keep receipts. But I'm serious. I analyze and I understand what we're up against and what we have and what we need. One thing that I can say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now.
Yeah, they don't face Oregon again because of the conferences splitting up, so that'll be over. But, I mean, obviously it got back to Deion pretty quick.
That's going to kill me. Mama's got a squeeze back, she wears on her chest. And when Daddy comes home, he never gets no rest. 'Cause she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze back, Daddy never sleeps at night. Where the dogs don't eat, and the kids don't sleep. No escape from the music in the whole damn street. Because she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze, but Daddy never sleeps at night. She goes in and out, in and out. 'Cause she's playing all night, and the music's alright. Mama's got a squeeze, but Daddy never sleeps at night. She goes, squeeze me. Come on and squeeze me. Come on and squeeze me like you do. I'm so in love with you. Mama's got a squeeze, but Daddy never sleeps at night. Because she's playing all night, and the music's alright.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, I see in the chat room as we get going today, just a few golf cards remaining. So a golf card alert there. If you want to jump on there, just go to nextround.store, pick up that golf card today, and be ready to play golf at those 4 great courses all the way till September of 2024. No restrictions or anything. It's a great value. Basically 3 rounds of golf for free and a little off one other green fee, so you can't beat that. It's the golf card, Next Round Store. Buy some gear and check out everything else when you get there. Over 170 winners in the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 last week at nextroundlive.com. Nextroundlive.com. Lunsford will have that up and ready to go again for you on Thursday to start playing. We come in, one of us expecting to lose last night in Monday Night Football, the other one with a glimmer of hope. I was joking with little T out in the command center earlier that basically I was like watching the professional version of the Iowa offense last night with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. But that game played out exactly the way I thought. But your Rams got after Joe Burrow. Pressures all the time, couple of sacks, held him to basically 1 touchdown, 19-16. Cincinnati survives. It was what I like to call an uphill win, where the Bengals were fighting uphill all night long. They never were able to coast. But, boy, you guys can't protect Matt Stafford.
Well, Alaric Jackson goes out, starting left tackle. He's been so good this year. And once he goes out, then, yeah, I mean, Trey Hendrickson had a field day on Matt Stafford. Look, the reason the Rams lost 1-11 on third downs, but that officiating was awful. How you overturn the Tutu Atwell touchdown, honestly, I mean, how do you overturn that? And then you don't overturn the Logan Wilson interception? It's like the NFL told the broadcast team last night, we need to suck off Joe Burrow, and we need to make sure Cincinnati stays alive in the playoff race. And that's exactly what happened. All they could do is hype up the Bengals all night, and the officiating was awful.
So your announcers were against you, too?
I turned them off.
Everything was against him.
I honestly,
the
I
world conspired.
No, I've told you guys that I would not watch the Manningcast for my team. I love watching the Manningcast if it's not my team.
Right.
So I flipped over, and they weren't on.
Yeah, no Manningcast on a doubleheader.
Yep.
So I muted the TV and went without sound all night.
Just mute.
After the second quarter, I couldn't handle it anymore.
In dead silence, or do you, like, in your head do play-by-play, or
no,
you play music
silence.
in the background?
Did you turn on music? Yeah.
Well, yesterday we had a visitor up here from Chicken Cock, and he came in, and when we were leaving, I walked him to the elevator, and he said, "Where are you watching the game tonight?" And I said, "At home." And I had to explain to him that I am one of those terrible fans, and I know we've got fans out there watching and listening that are the same way with their fan base.
Shut up.
Yeah. And I get way too passionate about it. I came into the season, there wasn't a lot of expectation, but after watching the first 2 weeks, there were. And again, that team last night deserved to win the game.
You know
Which team deserved to win the game? The Rams?
Yeah. I mean, although they were terrible on third downs, the Tutu Atwell, and this is why it's so tough being a fan, because if you're this diehard of a fan, you can't enjoy the game until the game is over. And initially, when he scored, they pulled it off the board. They kicked the 3. I said, that's going to be the difference in the game. And you know what? They lost by 3. That was a 4-point swing.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch this play. I haven't seen it.
On Tutu?
Yeah, was it during...
Did you not see that?
Yeah.
Really? Seriously?
There's no way his foot was out of bounds.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
So
I didn't.
here's
It's hard to watch your 2 games. When you're accustomed to a team that could score 70 points, watching these NFC games is really, really difficult.
Fair enough. I had the under, so we didn't care.
Yeah.
We pushed out on the Rams 2-0-1 last night, Lance'sLock.com. But, so it's a 22-yard reverse. He goes in for the touchdown. Great play.
God, he's so fast.
He should fly. He needs to be. He's 150 pounds. But he tightropes it, and they go back and look, and it looks like his heel maybe could have hit out of bounds. But the sport turf is what threw him off, I think. But what they don't realize is the sport turf can also come up from the ball of the foot. It doesn't have to come up from the heel necessarily. So there was never definitive evidence that his heel touched. I never saw cleat on white.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Did you watch?
Oh, there was no cleat on white. Yeah, I was watching.
You can't overturn that call.
There's no cleat on white.
Yeah.
I never understood what they were. I had the sound down because I was watching my guys.
Did anybody listen to the broadcast?
I don't know. Were they explaining why they overturned it? I just saw they overturned it.
Yeah, they said that they felt like there was enough evidence to say that his heel was out of bounds.
Well, unless you see the heel on the white, you got to stick with the ruling on the field.
And then, of course, Lewis and Dan and Chris, they probably got the call right.
Oh, I can't wait till Dan's on this week.
I really don't care.
You're going to ignore him?
Well, he wasn't as bad as the others because of his relationship with Matt Stafford, because he played with him so many years, but Lewis and Chris Fowler were unbearable.
Well, when Orlovsky joins us later this week, you could wear all black, turn in, blend into the wall. He won't even know you're here.
I mean, you guys know this. Look, Brown is going to coast into the playoffs as long as Tua stays healthy. Tua, by the way, a massive favorite to win the MVP.
Hard not to.
But one loss in this league can be the difference in getting to the postseason or not.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
And it's such a swing. And look, the NFL didn't want the Bengals to lose last night, and they
got to
didn't.
keep them alive.
Of course.
But just that's it. Look, and the coaching wasn't great. Look, Sean McVay tried to prove a point getting rid of Cam Akers, and you've got one running back now in Kyron Williams who can't catch a cold, and that's the only guy that gets carries last night. And again, 1 of 11. So I'm bitter today. They probably didn't deserve to win, but you can't have calls that are that evident. You've got instant replay for a reason.
Yeah, 1 and 11 on third down.
Terrible.
1 and 11 on third down. That's worse than Ole Miss was Saturday in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I think I didn't realize. I'm going to go on and skin off.
Boy, that's tight right there, man. I'm just watching the play. I mean, it's tight, but I think he was inbounds.
Yeah, you got to stick with the ruling.
So
on the
they
field,
ruled it a touchdown on the field?
They ruled it a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't see how you overturn that. I'm with you.
That's my point. That's my point.
I
You
don't
can't
think it
overturn
should.
that.
And that's where it started. It's 7-0 right off the bat, and they pull that back. Very next play, Stafford gets sacked.
Yeah.
Again, the Rams self-inflicted. I mean,
they did. I don't know that your coach coached his best game either.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah, I
2
mean,
interceptions, 6 sacks, 1 and 11
they
on
didn't give
third
They
downs.
didn't give the replacement left tackle a whole lot of help over there. He was on his own a lot, and then I didn't really. I know you. had
Zach Thomas, not your Hall of Fame linebacker, came in to replace Alaric Jackson and was awful. That's the thing. You don't have. First of all, you don't have good offensive line play for the most part anywhere at any level.
Yeah.
And when nobody has depth at offensive line, so once you lose those starters, it's lights out.
I didn't like the run play either. On the you get down there, you're scrambling, just trying to score again. You get down there and score, and then you run it right, or you get down to the goal line on the 2-2 Atwell catch, then you run it. I didn't like that play. That's okay. I mean, that's just small things.
Did you see the Logan Wilson interception though?
No.
Okay, so it was 6-3 Rams, first down.
Who's he play for?
Stafford
Plays for the Rams?
No, he plays for the Bengals.
No,
Bengals,
he's a good
okay.
linebacker.
Okay.
But Stafford tries to do one of his look away, sidewinding throws, which they look cool, especially when you complete them.
Yeah.
But Logan Wilson makes the interception but goes to the ground and doesn't control it. The ball moves.
Yeah.
They go to replay, and they confirm the call.
I mean, I was in my quad box. I couldn't watch every play. I'm sorry I missed that interception. I did not want to miss one of my 174 yards of offense last night.
I mean, they were precious, Jimmy. You got to catch every one.
Mike Evans only catches the hard ones one-handed while getting airlifted by a DB. Meanwhile, early in the game when we were competitive, he's dropping some that Baker put on the money.
This is just one of those things. You got to stay healthy to be competitive in the NFL. If the Rams stay healthy, they're going to be in the mix. Your team is kind of what I thought they were. I mean,
me too.
Yeah, and
we're 2 wins ahead of where I thought we'd be right now.
And I really didn't realize that Jalen Hurts was sick. I didn't know he had had the flu.
It's flu game.
You obviously didn't have the sound up in that game.
Flu game.
Lisa Salters reported that very early. He's dealing with flu-like symptoms.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I had both games on, and I had one with a biased team of broadcasters, and then I had the other one that was muted.
Wouldn't it be better if they just came out if they were there were no FCC regulations? Lisa Salter said, Jalen's dealing with the shits. He's not feeling really good.
He'll probably run to the locker room a few times. Might see his pants get brown.
It's just he's dealing with flu-like symptoms, couldn't keep some food down, and was running to the bathroom with a little diarrhea.
Yeah.
And Jalen didn't play great. Again, it wasn't clean football, but that's kind of what I've expected from the Eagles this year. So the Eagles showed up. The real Tampa showed up.
God, DeAndre Swift's on a
my
heater
God.
right
He's a
now.
heck of a player, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that one where he leaped the dude on the
with Najee Harris on him.
Yeah. Swift can play.
and not the biggest guy. I didn't realize he was a Pennsylvania State Player of the Year in 2017.
I did not either. Did you see it when they were showing that?
Yeah.
And they showed his old man's gym.
Yep.
His old man. I mean, he's swole.
I don't know how you do.
Did you see that on those weights
with the 2 weights, using them in sort of a V and using those to do push-ups on top of the weights?
Troy was like, I've never seen that in my life.
Troy was amazed, and Joe was like, "Don't I'm not going to try that. And Troy's like, don't.
Don't.
But if you do, call me. I want to watch.
Yes. Get somebody to film, please.
Those two are so good together.
Yeah.
All right, that's Monday Night Football last night. By the way, only 3 weeks in, only 3 NFL teams left. One of those played last night in Philadelphia. San Francisco and Miami are the 3 unbeatens left. That's the only unbeatens left in the NFL through 3 weeks.
Those are the.
By the way, those 3 are really good teams.
That's how I would have my power rankings right now. I know we haven't done that, but
How would you do it? 1, 2, 3?
I think I would have Miami, I would have San Francisco, and then I would have the Eagles.
I would agree with that 100%.
I think those are the 3 best teams right now in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Brock Purdy, by the way, unbeaten forever in regular season games. He's 8-0. He's never lost a regular season.
I bet that comes to an end.
How about Jalen
probably
Hurts?
at some point.
At some point.
So that's a smaller sample size. Jalen is 20-1 in his last 21 starts.
It's incredible what he's done.
Yep. Ever since that's since the loss in Tampa in the wild card, he's been that good in the regular season.
Yeah, since the wild card loss, 20-1. His one loss was who was it in the regular season? I don't remember.
Yeah, but they explained that perfectly last night. They were talking about last time Jalen Hurts was in this place, he lost. They could have gone back. He also lost when Alabama and Clemson were there too. But he was like, they lost in the wild card. And I remember telling you guys, not worried about the Eagles at all because Jalen Hurts, they won't beat that defense. And then you fast forward to what he has become, and it's like, you can't contain him.
You really can't. He's become a legit NFL quarterback. I never saw that in him.
But, I brought this up last night. We did a little pregame on Monday night, which we've started to do. Lance'sLock.com, by the way. Rashad White, I just don't trust him as a running back. I don't know. You got to be able to take a little pressure off of Baker Mayfield.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's his fault. They're just not good. They're just not good.
They weren't supposed to be good.
They struggled running the football, except when they made this big win streak to win the Super Bowl with Leonard Fournette. They struggle running the football. They just struggle. They're the Buccaneers. That's part of it. They just struggle. So I love them so much. Let's tell you about a couple of great folks. First, our friends at NASCAR. It is race week. People are starting to put up their tents over at the Talladega Superspeedway. Get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You got the truck race on Saturday. Got Hardy in concert Saturday night and the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Talking about 200 miles per hour around the world's fastest speedway, door handle to door handle in playoff racing. You cannot beat it. You'll want to be there to people watch, to hear great music, and to watch great racing. It is all right there. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. I just had to glance, see if you had a shirt on underneath. Did you think you changed gray that much?
No, I just didn't realize how bad I was camouflaged.
Yeah. But you went from one shade of gray to another.
But this one's got some color on the chest.
This is a lot lighter.
We got the Cyclone
Matt Campbell.
I actually got dressed today with that in mind. I was going to wear a black hat and a black hoodie, and I thought to myself, I don't know. So to put out as much light as possible with the dark background now, I chose no hat today to throw a little light off my head.
Thank you, Jim.
See, I'll remember this going forward now, that I got to dress lighter.
Well, see, I have a lot of dark.
I do too.
Yeah, I have a lot of dark.
Yeah,
so.
I'm a neutral guy. I love dark shades, browns, grays, blacks.
But you in TV, because we always had to do some stuff in front of the chroma key and news and sports, that I had no greens, right? So now I got to remember not to wear any of the darker colors to work.
Yeah.
Let's go without a shirt.
What we need is one of those
whiter than this right now.
We need some safety vest, so we can just put on there. Yeah. So we just keep one of those back there if one of us forgets.
Yeah. Was somebody saying we got rid of the glass wall? We haven't gotten the glass wall is still here.
No,
that's still the glass wall.
Yeah.
It just all of a sudden now looks like it's brown. Like it's a brown wall.
The outside wall is brown.
I will tell you though, there is nothing better than a glass wall, in my opinion.
Hey Tyler, can you run and just stand right here in the picture real quick? I know you're not an intern now, so you don't have to take the order. I'm just requesting. If you go stand right here, just to prove to people that it's not.
No.
Behind the glass, outside.
Yeah, right there.
A little further.
There,
See, not a glass wall.
Wave
I mean,
to
it is a
people,
glass
Tyler.
wall.
Wave.
It is a glass wall. It's a
Thank
live
you, Tyler.
thing. Not a. What's those big cut ups that used to be on the wall?
Fatheads.
Yeah, not a fat head.
I got somebody gave me a Tory Holt for Christmas.
That's real tight.
Is it still in your bedroom?
No. I don't even know what happened to it.
Oh, the ceiling over.
Do you guys, when you see somebody do something, immediately come to mind? Like I think anime now when I see Tyler. I don't know why.
Interesting. Well, he likes it.
He loves it a lot.
But I found out over the weekend, anime's got a bunch. I knew it had a lot of violence. Like I heard it's got graphic sex in cartoons.
Oh yeah.
In what?
Yeah. Like people are banging and slitting throats.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler's got a comment.
Go ahead, Tyler.
What are you watching?
I haven't seen it. Is that not true?
I mean, I guess if you look for it, I was watching a show about pirates.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just told we were talking. Anime came up somehow, and somebody was like, "Man, it's a lot of violence and a lot of sex."
Yeah.
So I figured they knew what they were talking
Tell
about.
us about Bromberg's, and then we'll jump into another big topic over in the chat room today.
They are your diamond specialists. If you're thinking about popping the question, Bromberg's place you need to go. 2 locations, Mountain Brook, the Summit locations. You can shop online, Brombergs.com. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at
Hey,
Bromberg's.
by the way, Thursday night, we're excited. Bud Light game night. We're at the Overtime Bar and Grill. Overtime Bar and Grill. That's West Homewood, isn't it?
Yeah, so have you guys ever been?
I have.
Yeah, if you're going, say you get off of 65 at Oxmoor Road and you take a left going to Wildwood. Just keep passing Wildwood. John Carroll High School's on your right.
Oh, that's Lakeshore, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not Oxmoor.
Lakeshore.
Yeah.
Lakeshore, my bad.
Get off at Lakeshore.
Yeah, get off at Lakeshore. Pass John Carroll's on your right, and then you'll go over West Oxmoor.
Right.
And when you cross West Oxmoor, it's going to be on your left.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're going the back way up to Robert Trent Jones, the golf course, and it's right there. Great sports bar, Overtime Bar and Grill. That's where we are. Bud Light game night this Thursday night, 5 to 7. Come hang out with us. Remember, we have that QR code that if you come out, you scan that QR code, a chance to win a pair of tickets for the Alabama-Auburn game at the end of the year down in Auburn, thanks to our great friends at Bud Light. Got to be in person to scan that QR code to get into the drawing. And you can get in that as many times as you want. Just come out every week if you want to. This week it's Overtime Bar and Grill, West Homewood. Come join us there. A lot of people in the chat room talking. I had not seen this until Taylor Korn showed it to us. Showed it to me in the command center out there, the social media command center. Oregon sends out a 5-minute video about their win. And on their field, their cameras are shooting pregame, and it has a little bit of lead up in the week. But during pregame, I don't guess the Colorado players cared. But they got caught talking crap to the Oregon players, and one of them, and it's in the videos, I'm gonna F you and your coach up today, blah blah blah. They're talking while Oregon's stretching. They're walking up to the 50 and talking, and when they're coming out walking onto the field, they're kicking at the O, spitting on the O.
Did you find that a little ironic, that the fact that they were dogging out Matt Rule in Nebraska?
Yep. Matt Rule's in a prayer circle, blessing the field and all of the players that will play,
and asking them to join.
That's what Matt said.
And inviting Shador to join us in prayer. And they're spitting, and it's got them cussing, flat out cussing, looking into the camera. I need to report a murder. We're about to murder some ducks today.
God, I wish I could have heard this before the game. I mean, I had enough on it, but I would have kept it coming.
This was the Hypocrisy Bowl because Dan Lanning was hypocritical and Colorado was hypocritical. I mean, everybody was hypocritical.
Is that another word I mispronounced?
The Hypocrisy Bowl?
Is it hypocrisy? Am I saying
it wrong?
Did
I say it wrong?
You said it wrong. It's hypocrisy.
What did I say?
Hypocrisy.
It's the Hypocrisy Bowl.
Yeah.
Everything was hypocritical. Everybody in that game was.
Yeah. I'll tell you. More on that first. You mean like Dan Lanning was too? Because
Dan Lanning, they're playing for clicks. We're playing for wins.
It was scary. Get my best side.
Bring the camera.
You're literally saying this on ABC. Like you've invited the cameras into the locker room. I mean, I don't know how else, why else you're doing that.
Basically, you're staging a video shoot.
Yeah.
So did they stage to make sure that Shiloh Sanders was in there cussing at the players?
I mean, they're laughing at them warming up.
Yeah, but I mean, Oregon had
rewind it. Start it over because I want to watch it again from the beginning. Look at him kicking at the O.
But Oregon's got final cut on this, so they made sure that they included all this.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is Oregon's. Yeah. Can you rewind it?
Well, I think that's the start of it right there.
This is the
Ducks
beginning.
versus them.
Yeah.
So is that the name of the series, though? I think Ducks versus them.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I don't ever watch this.
I don't know, but it's a 5-minute video.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I saw the video, Lil T sent it out, and it said 5 minutes. I was like, I'm not going to give 5 minutes to this. And I'm bad about that. That's on me.
Right.
But apparently it was worth my 5 minutes.
And then but it's all the stuff in pregame. And Lil T said, this is a long video. Let me get to the good stuff because she knows my attention span is like.
Well, that's why I didn't watch it.
Is like that from a guy who doesn't have what do I have, attention deficit disorder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They put that old guy in there. what's his name? J.D. Pickle.
Yeah, the old J.D. Pickle
Yeah,
guy.
good for J.D. Pickle to get in there.
Here comes the fans. Oh,
Yeah.
we're bringing the ball in.
Yeah, right.
Where's the pregame stuff? We're about to go back to that?
Yeah, I don't know, Jim.
Hey, this isn't about clicks, is it?
So, I mean, really, that's why I was so hypocritical. And I like Dan Lanning. You guys know I'm a big Dan Lanning guy. And
I can't wait till he's in Tuscaloosa.
I've said he will replace Nick Saban, and I think, look, I mean, he got a big contract, but obviously his performance on the field is trending very, very good right now.
Okay, here we go.
I just thought Dan Lanning was very showed a lot of hypocrisy.
Okay, here we go.
Was very
I'll
hypocritical.
beat the blank out of every one of y'all. Why we're fitting to run through y'all. Doesn't deserve your attention.
Narration's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't read that fast.
Yeah.
He's laughing at Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's almost like Colorado was in on it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they show Colorado kicking in. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You know, everybody's
I'd like to report a crime to the murder of these ducks.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's it's pretty wild that Oregon put this whole video out this way. I mean, this is not a rivalry. These are teams that only play because they just so happen to be in the same conference for a period of time. They'll probably never play again.
Probably not.
And I mean, this thing
maybe in a college football playoff.
I mean, that's going to be highly unlikely. But I mean, we treat that this game's being treated like it was a blood feud, like it was old school
I will
Miami,
take-
Florida State.
Yeah, well, call me old school, but if my players acted like that and I saw that,
Well, I mean,
those guys, I'm just telling you, man, spitting on the logo and running up and talking shit like I don't mind chirping at all, but I mean that's ridiculous.
well, I listen. The logo is just on the field, and I'm not going to sit there and defend the logo.
But spitting on it's one thing. Go
Yeah.
stand on it, talk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
I've never really understood the whole logo thing. Like, you
people
play an
puked on
entire
it.
game
Yeah.
where people run over it the entire game, but in the pregame, by God, you stay off it. I
Yeah.
just never really understood
They
that.
spit on it, they throw up on it, they bleed on it.
Right.
So the logo is the logo. It's down there to be walked on. It's like a welcome mat. But to be talking across the line and saying that crap in pregame,
But you don't think that happens everywhere? You think this
I
is
don't
pretty
know.
unique?
I don't know.
I would say it happens every weekend.
Well, I would say this: if I am going to talk like that, I need to know that we've got a shot at winning. Like they had lost before they deplaned once
Yeah.
they
Well,
landed.
You mean to
Eugene.
tell me you think Hugh Freeze's players, the great Hugh Freeze, who looks at rivals with nothing but love, his players yell across the line at the opposing team?
Yeah,
during
absolutely.
warm-ups?
I bet they won't Saturday.
I think they do. I think every single team does this. I think when they go out, they jaw at one another, and it's normally probably in good fun and humor, and everybody laughs it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you don't think that happens at every college game?
No, I mean I think
Doesn't get caught
there's
on
definitely
tape a
chirping.
lot.
But I agree with Rusty. It's the intentional disrespect stomping on the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our friends at Harbin's brings you great outdoor. Respect that backyard. Get it looking great, LT.
Yeah, look, I'm working on it right now for Chili and Bullet when they come home from boot camp. Got to make sure the backyard is in tip-top condition where I can lock them down there for a couple of hours and they can't escape. But
That doesn't sound like love, but go ahead.
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, right now I've got a fence that's got a hole under it so they can go out. And then they're in the creek and they're hanging out, a mile away from the house, and I got to beg them back with treats. But now that I've got Harbin's coming out to put that fence in, I don't have to worry about it. But not just that. Harbin's Outdoors award-winning landscape company. They specialize in installing custom fiberglass pools. One-stop shop. Harbin's does it all from the install to the lighting, final hardscapes around the pool, everything in between. Beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors. See it for yourself or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718.
I always check on Tuesdays to see if Brown has layers on, because I've never seen Ryan and the Brown Bandit in the same place at the same time, but there's been suspicion.
Yeah.
But I can't tell if he's got layers on today or not. I don't know if there's a costume change, if there's a musical act, cabaret in the upset alert later on. But just if you're
I look around for props now, don't you?
I do too.
Yeah.
If you're a big fan of Upset Alert, because we have Matt Wyatt with us at 10:25, which I think is where we've been doing the Upset Alert, sliding a little later, going into the 11 o'clock time slot today. So shortly after high 11,
High noon
noon in
Eastern.
the East.
Yes, East Coast.
we're gonna go upset alert today. So if you're a big fan of the Brown Bandit,
3 straight he's hit.
You can join us then. Do we have a leaderboard?
3 out of 4 on the season, and I think
Updated.
you remember he apologized for week 1.
Yeah, I do. Here's the leaderboard right now. Upset alert. Brown with 7 points. Lance with 4. So
God,
it's a
General, you missed again. Who did you have?
UCF played their ass off in that game.
Yeah, why don't you just get Brown Bandit to throw him your leftovers?
I do. I was down to 2 really good ones. I don't know who Lance is going with, but I'll give you my leftovers because, well, I'm not going to comment on your pick.
It's hooking a dead fish.
You don't like my pick?
Hooking a dead fish. I'm not crazy about it.
Okay, so I noticed neither one of you texted me back, so
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't step on any toes
No,
with
you
my
did not.
pick.
That one was not on the Brown Bandits
Yeah.
board.
I figure when I pick them now, you
Yeah.
guys are like, whew,
Yeah.
thanks for texting, Jim.
Yep.
I was thinking about that one. I'll pull that one out now. Upset alert later on. Find out which team will play well, but come up just short this week when I make my pick later on. Dr. B gets us to our first break. When we come back, you'll hear from Hugh Freeze, what he said in our overtime yesterday, and a lot more college football. Clay at 10, Matt Wyatt at 10:25, Upset Alert at 11. All that still to come, Dr. B.
For more than 20 years, our friend Dr. Beckenstein, women and men have turned to him for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training in genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Make the phone call that I made over a year and a half ago when I started to thin out. Dr. B is the man I called. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. 205-319-0316. You can go online for more information, t3hair.net.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons. The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali. The next round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Super Speedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. The next round golf cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes of golf and cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. That's a value of $247 for just $89. Or get the next round deluxe golf cart for just $119. It gets you all 4 courses with cart, plus an exclusive next round golf t-shirt, koozie, golf tees, and a sticker. There are no restrictions. The cart is good through September 2024. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
Hey, back with you on the next round today. as we get ready to talk a little bit more college football. A longtime friend of the show, Marty Smith's book, is officially available today. He's been on before talking about the book, but it is Sideline CEO, Leadership Principles from Championship Coaches. One of the more intriguing chapters in the book about Doc Rivers having to navigate, a racist owner at one point when he was coaching and trying to keep his team together and playing and making a playoff push.
You tell me Donald Sterling was racist?
Yeah. Just a fascinating part of the book there. But you can get Marty's book available now wherever you get books other than libraries. You go buy that book right now. Sideline CEO. I'm sure it'll be in libraries.
Wait, last
soon.
time you guys went to a library?
Oh, God. I took my kids.
Yeah, I took my daughter to some little deal at a library not long ago. It's been within 2 years.
We pay the fees every year, but
Yeah.
I went, we were in Tuscaloosa, and I took the kids in May to Gorgas, and they basically sat in the lobby like they weren't even interested. I was like, I really want you guys to see what a library is like. And when I walked in, it was nothing but computers.
Yeah.
And I had to go up to somebody that was working there. I was like, where are your books? And they're like, they're on floor number 3. It's only like one floor of books now.
Books?
Yeah.
Welcome back, simple caveman.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the hell are you doing in the library if you're not checking out and reading books?
The library is in our pocket now.
That's right.
It goes everywhere with
I
us.
know.
everywhere, and you don't have to be quiet around it
Hey, when you
anymore.
used to do papers, though, when you had to show sources, did you just take the paragraph and make it your own?
No, I mean, I would take the paragraph, put it on there, and then cite it. But, I mean, I didn't write it myself. You mean like just plagiarize?
Yeah,
I'd paraphrase it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Paraphrase?
Yeah, I wouldn't
And
straight
rearrange it.
plagiarize.
Oh, I see
yeah, I
what
would
you're
just
saying.
rearrange.
Yeah,
I'd read
paraphrase-
it,
yeah.
and then I'd recount it in
Yeah,
my own.
No, I would
in my
do
own.
that,
Yeah.
Turn it into Southern English.
Basically, it was basically AI before AI.
That's true.
My own brain was AI at that point. Storm Restoration Roofing, a real person, Greg from Pell City, will get up on your roof and check to see if you got loose shingles or a problem up there that could be causing damage to your home. It's a free, no cost, no obligation procedure there. All you have to do is call Greg up at this number, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost inspection. You can also look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Over 20 years locally owned, and insurance companies trust him. You should too. It is Storm Restoration Roofing. Okay, some heat about this. I don't know if heat. It was discussed. Let's put it that way. Discussed. Hugh Freeze yesterday, cut 6, Rockstar. It is listed on my sheet here. Hugh Freeze sings Kumbaya about the Auburn-Georgia rivalry.
All right. Never have thought much Kumbaya was in that.
Yeah, that's an overrated song, by the way. But here's Hugh Freeze.
It's like that
Yeah,
is the best
it's like-
song in the world.
yeah.
Where's it
I think
rated?
it's a little overrated.
Overrated. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm just saying, it
It's no
gets
My Girl.
referenced a lot. How many times you actually listen
about
to the whole song?
over-referenced?
Okay, over-referenced. That's what I was looking for. Hey, listen, at least I didn't call it, what was it, hypocrisy or
Yeah, boy. You don't want to embarrass yourself.
Back in the old AM days, remember when I called when I really
No, you called
Hyperbole.
it hyperbole. Yeah, Dunaway.
It's the epitome of hyperbole.
No, he did. He would say it for so long too. I was like, God, I haven't corrected him now for a year. I guess I need to correct him. I thought he was kidding at first.
in my head, it was like, man, it's Colorado and Oregon this weekend. That is a hyperbole.
A lot of hyperbole.
A lot of hyperbole in that game.
Yeah, it's like
Everybody's all fired
it's a
up.
game of a lot of hype. It's a big game, hyperbole.
A bowl full of it.
Hugh Freeze, Georgia and Auburn. Listen, I am not worried about Hugh Freeze intensity in rivalry games at all. But listen to this, and some people thought you want it to be a little nastier than this. You want it to be somewhere closer to Colorado, Oregon than it would be. What is this? Kumbaya. Here's Hugh Freeze.
I don't sense that it has. I better not. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I'm new here. But I don't sense the hatred that is in some other rivalries that I've been a part of. But nonetheless, I think it's intense. Okay, well, I'll find out. I'm not big on hate. I'm really not. I'm big on just, man, this means something to so many people, so we should compete in a way out of love for our people, not necessarily for hate for other people. That's kind of the way I operate. But man, I hope we compete because we love Auburn, and it means something to the Auburn people to compete against Georgia. So that'll be my approach, and but nonetheless, that love is a great motivator for me.
Well, the fact that Georgia has won 9 of the last 10 in this series does probably diminish some of the heat around it, and the fact that Georgia's program is where it is, and there's a reason Hugh Freeze is a first-year coach at Auburn. That said, this is literally the rivalry where one fan base rushed the field and the other school turned sprinklers on to run them off. I mean, I do think there's some deep-seated hatred in this one.
Yeah, I think it was hoses, was it not?
Yeah, I mean, they just fired the water
I think he
cannons.
lost some points there with the Auburn fan base. Again, I think he's a great face for the Auburn program. But you got to know this is a heated rivalry.
Okay, but I don't want to go deep philosophy on you here. But do you not think you fight more and harder for things and people you love than you do when you're fighting against something because you hate that something? I think you fight more.
I think it's probably the same emotion depending on how much you hate something.
But I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
I think you fight more.
You're presenting it like it's mutually exclusive, like I can only choose to fight for you guys because I love you or fight against an enemy because I hate them. I can do both at the same time. I mean, they're not mutually exclusive. And I have no problem, first of all, with Hugh Freeze feeling this way. He's got to feel the way he wants to feel. If that's genuine, that's the way he needs to feel. It is kind of countercultural to what most of football is. Most of the time when you get these rivalries, like, I mean, the Iron Bowl, Ohio State, Michigan, the Egg Bowl.
Well, he's coming from the Egg Bowl. That's his biggest rivalry.
You don't think they hated one another?
They
God,
did.
they
That's
hated
what
one
he's saying.
another. Yeah.
This is obviously, it doesn't feel like a lot of the same hate around the ones I've been around, which is Ole Miss and Mississippi State's
back to
biggest.
Brown's point, because Georgia's whipped that ass.
Well, I mean, Georgia's won 9 of 10.
I mean, the Egg Bowl is one of the most unpredictable games every single year.
I mean, until last year, did Alabama-Tennessee feel like a heated rivalry to you?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, until last year?
Until last year.
Well, I mean, yeah, it did because Tennessee wanted it so bad. They were. I mean, for the first,
it lost a ton of last year.
but for the first 2 quarters, they were pretty intense in the stands until they were leaving at halftime.
Yeah, you generally don't leave a heated rivalry at halftime. That's
Well,
my
you do
point.
when you're getting your ass kicked.
But
I leave at halftime when it's a tie game.
I'm just saying.
We'll see this weekend. By the way, going first game of the year.
Yeah. And Little T's right. Ultimately, the fans don't care. She says in the chat room, I don't care if it's out of love or hate as long as we're winning the game.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if that's the way Hugh Freeze genuinely feels, that's fine. I just think it is countercultural in most of athletics.
But when you get up and go do things every day, I mean, you get up and you do it for love of the job, love of the family, love of money in some cases. You're not motivated, I don't think, healthy by hate. You don't get up and go do this because, you want to be another somebody's business or, another person.
We're getting deep on this, but
that's not the healthiest way to do it. I appreciate the way he's approaching it.
You condition, you train, you practice, you do that for the love of Auburn and that program. But once you get on the field on Saturday, when you see the opponent is Georgia, you hate that opponent. That's what I'm saying. I told you guys I only hate one person in the world.
But were you in, like, when it's different now because of the show we do, there just really isn't this, there's not like a competitor for us, right?
Right.
We don't really have a competitor. I'm not saying that we're the top level. I'm just saying we're in a different era now.
That's right.
We're in a different format, so there isn't competition in this format. We're just doing our own thing.
There's never a ratings where we're 1 or 2.
That's right.
Like
but there
used to
was
be.
when we were in radio and you were in TV.
That's right.
You always wanted to finish as high as you could in those. You took pride in that, right?
I did. No, I'm gonna ask you to tread lightly here, because you're about to say, Jim, you were very competitive. You approached a lot of it with hate, and I'm telling you,
no,
that's not the. No, I'm just saying that's not a healthy way. I'm telling you, I've evolved into a healthier space.
No, that's fine. But my point was going to be, like, when we were in mornings, Rick and Bubba was the #1 show. Rick and Bubba have been friends of ours for 30 years.
Yeah.
I love those guys, but I wanted to beat them.
Yeah, well, I did too, but they'd beaten us 9 out of 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, we were over. They were the best program in America.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a given that they were.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Going to beat us.
Yeah, when we were in middays, we were When we were 10-2, we were a dominant number one. Nobody touched us in ratings. Nobody was even close.
Right. It sort of made it boring.
But I enjoyed those wins every time. Every time those ratings came out, I looked to see how big the lead was.
We had a little thing called a bonus,
That's
didn't
right.
we?
Yeah, that was nice.
But, this game, I don't know what y'all's expectation is for this game.
My expectation.
Like, if you had a semblance of a quarterback, I think Auburn has a really good shot at pulling an upset. But I just don't see a quarterback that's going to roll out there that can consistently I don't know what the Auburn team total is right now. I would think 13.5.
I can find it in
my
my
you're telling me you
bookie.ag.
think UAB scores more in Athens than Auburn scores in Jordan?
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, UAB's got a much better quarterback. Brown talks to him every Monday morning.
I know he eats raccoon.
That's not why he's better.
Well, I think it helps.
No, but you know what? If you put him on that Auburn roster, they would have a shot on Saturday. With all that said, I don't think you didn't see a lot of game plan from Georgia. I don't think that UAB was really what the focus was.
And hold that thought real quick,
Okay.
Brad. We'll continue the conversation. But if you're heading to the Auburn game this weekend and want to dress in love, you do it with our friends at the Pants Store.
Wow.
Pants Store is your game day headquarters. Alabama and Auburn game day polos, hats, and quarter zips. Choose from famous name brands like Gentile, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Elephant Head, and Taylor and Mick. Ladies, look no further for your game day needs than right there at the Pants Store with the skirts, the rompers, the clear bags, and the booties. Find any of your game day needs. Pantsstore.com, pantsstore.com. 6 locations: Auburn, Crestline, Hoover, Huntsville, Leeds, and Tuscaloosa.
All right, mybookie.ag. Don't forget code next round when you go there. This week only 110%. 110% bonus when you go there with your sign-on bonus. You get 110%. With that initial deposit. They're only doing it this week, and only if you use code next round at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Auburn is a 14.5-point underdog, and that is the same exact number as their team total, Lance. 14.5.
13.5, but
Yeah, 14.5 is the team total there. And Georgia's, for the record, is 30.5.
Would you feel comfortable saying, give me over?
I would not.
14.5?
Not watching Auburn's offense. I mean, I'll just ask you this. Now, I know the game is in Jordan-Hare. Jordan-Hare, I think in big games, when both teams are good, that is a very important qualifier here. And generally, it's only a big game when both teams are good. I think Jordan-Hare is worth as much as 7 points to Auburn. That is an incredibly difficult place for opponents to play. The problem is,
So if this was in Athens, you think it's 21.5?
No. Well, it could be. I mean, what would this be in Athens?
This would be 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that big of a deal. And you got to remember, Carson Beck's getting that first road start.
That's right.
This is not where you want to start your career on the road.
And as long as Auburn is in the game, their fans will be in the game. It's an incredibly difficult place for opponents to play. It is worth a lot for Auburn. It's just Auburn is so bad offensively. And my point was going to be, I know it's in Jordan-Hare. This was in College Station. But do you think Georgia's defense is better or Texas A&M's defense is better?
I think we know the answer to that.
Auburn could not move the ball on Texas A&M's defense.
They could not.
So what makes me just being at home? It will help, yes, but does that make it? I mean, is that going to be the magic formula that all of a sudden Auburn has a competent offense and can pick up first downs?
I would say at least now, that was your first loss. At least now you know where the holes in the boat are, and maybe you can start trying to lean to the left so that hole on the right side doesn't take as much water.
Well, when the hole in the boat is the guy that's piloting the ship has fallen in the water, that's a problem.
All right, Kirby Smart on just what makes going to Jordan-Hare Stadium or the road in the SEC so hard anyway. Talk to us, Kirby.
Could you elaborate on what makes different road environments unique to themselves?
I think they're more similar than unique. I would have a hard time, pinpointing differences other than they're all loud as hell in our conference, and they do a great job. I mean, we went to Missouri last year, and I thought it was as loud as anything at night. The environment was really loud, and it's not even an enclosed stadium, and this stadium is enclosed, and it's similar to ours. People have always said there's a similarity between the look of theirs and ours, but it's extremely loud. I mean, I don't know how to differentiate, one school to another because they're just loud. All their fans are passionate. It's a very similar environment.
In the chat room, Jason points out Brownie Auburn did run the ball a little against Texas A&M, and they did have 144 rush yards. Now, Damari Alston went out of that game injured. That's a huge loss for Auburn.
Yeah. I thought
he's out for an extended period of time, according to Hugh Freeze.
Been sort of their most productive back to date. I thought they moved the ball really well first 2 drives.
Yeah, I mean,
but T needs to play more.
Well, he's going to now that Alston is out.
And I think Batiste should be returning kicks. I mean, I watched him return kicks in South Florida last year, and he was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, Jarquez Hunter still 9 carries, 53 yards. Hunter just has not. He hasn't had the volume of carries, and he hasn't had the yardage that we expected out of Hunter this year.
Now, listen, I listen to a lot of games. Sometimes with the great YouTube TV multicast now, sometimes I got as many as 9 games going at once. Did he make a run one time, and did Robert Griffin III say butt naked when talking about him?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, everything's a cliche with RG3.
I zone him out.
Yeah, I don't know. They all run together. But, yeah, I think he said he's trying to get naked in the secondary.
I think he said butt naked.
Butt naked in the secondary, yeah.
Was he jokingly referencing the offseason video there?
You know, it did not occur to me until you just brought that up. I would hope not. I think that was just an unfortunate coincidence.
I didn't want to screw up my multicast,
right?
Which I guess I'm multitasking when I'm watching 4 games at once on one screen. But I didn't want to rewind it to hear it. But I was like, did he just say butt naked?
I think maybe that was an unfortunate coincidence there, but I don't know. I can't swear to that. He used a lot of cliches.
It made no sense to me what he was talking about.
31 carries, though. 31 carries this year for Hunter.
Yeah.
Now, I know he did not,
Yeah, it's getting there. He
did not play the first game.
Getting a little bit better. Yeah. All right, little love, not hate, from Hugh Freeze yesterday. We're loving the speed of NASCAR. Talladega Super Speedway this weekend. It's still race time. You still got time to get tickets, and your ticket gets you to the truck race on Saturday. The Hardy Show on Saturday night, a little Hardy in concert, and then Sunday's Yellowwood 500. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Get those tickets. Let's go fast. Let's have a good time this weekend at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Do you need extra cash handy? Look no further than Legacy Credit Union for whatever loan your lifestyle requires. It only takes a few minutes to apply and request the amount you need to give you peace of mind. With affordable low rates and manageable payback plans, a Legacy Lifestyle loan is crafted just for you. Apply online today at legacycreditunion.com/join. Lifestyle loans from Legacy. Terms and conditions may apply. Legacy is federally insured by the NCUA.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
Hey, part of our show today being brought to you by our friends at MyBookie.ag. MyBookie.ag. Brown's been telling us all week, you got to give 110%.
Got to do it.
How about getting 110%?
That's right. We try to give you 110% on this show every day. It's physically impossible for humans to do so, but it's mathematically possible for MyBookie.ag to do so. MyBookie.ag code next round this week and this week only. You sign on, you make a deposit so you can play. They are going to give you a 110% deposit match. They are giving you free money. That is free money. You can play it. You win one time with it. It is yours and yours forever at mybookie.ag. Now, this is only if you use code next round. They're not just doing this for any Jack Wad on the street. They're doing this for next round. All right,
Hey, Jack.
Joe Jack Wad. You know
Mr.
him.
Wad.
I got to quit smoking.
You do have a smoker's cough.
I do. I had this weirdest. It's just all of a sudden got all this congestion in my chest. I've been coughing.
You've been
for all
vaping?
weekend. Yeah, man. I like to hit that cotton candy.
You know what's so funny? I've never vaped in my life. I mean, I've hit somebody's vape when it's had some weed in it. But like every Sunday when I'm cleaning up downstairs, I find like vape pens and vape cartridges.
What, you got a bunch of vagrants living at the house?
No, I just think a lot of people vape and they don't really show it. It's like people are closet vapors.
Most of the time they do this number right here. They go.
But you notice that, right?
I do notice it, yeah.
MyBookie.ag, sorry.
MyBookie.ag, code next round.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're a vapor, not a vapor, it doesn't matter. 110% for MyBookie.ag. Only if you use code next round. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round.
All right, we're about to get to 4 downs, but I did want to bring up this. And Karen, who watches our show all the time, and I appreciate her sending this to me, and then I saw other people start dropping this knowledge on me. Travis Kelce's jersey sales went up 400% since Taylor Swift watched this game on Sunday. Joe points it out, Paul Blano points this out. Travis Kelce has had a busy 24 hours. 7 catches, 69 yards, a touchdown, gained 300,000 followers on social media, 400% growing increase in merchandise sales, top 5 selling jersey in the NFL. That's the Taylor Swift effect.
Such an obnoxious guy.
Oh, no, but this is the best thing to happen to the Dolphins. I was so glad when I saw this happen. The Chiefs are done. Now that Taylor Swift is on board, this will end it for them. The AFC has never been more open. I was thrilled when I saw this happen.
I saw a sports book, and they sent me these odds, and you guys probably got it. They had odds on this relationship.
Yeah.
And will they be together at the start of the 2024 season?
I hope they are.
And they're favored to be. Are they even dating, though?
Yeah, she came to the game.
She was at the
came
game.
to the game. Well, trust me, if you watched any form of football on Sunday, you knew she was at the game.
Put the graphic back up because, I mean, if you just pay her to come to the game.
Wow, God, how much would that cost?
If you just work out a business, we'll give you, a percentage of the. Not that she needs the money.
Dude, I was about to say she's a billionaire.
I mean, 400% increase in merchandise, 300,000 social media followers, top 5 in jersey sales.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be an arranged hangout session between a couple of business people there.
This is exactly what I want to happen for the Chiefs.
She is way too big to be hanging down here.
No, I think they're legit dating. I don't really care one way or the other, except for the fact that it benefits the Dolphins.
That's just.
I think the Kelce's have the #1 podcast, don't they? Or
I think so. Yeah. They're very popular. The Kelce's are just on their own.
And there's a reality TV show.
Yeah, but they're not Taylor Swift popular.
No, nobody is.
No, very few.
All right, let's do.
I love it.
4 downs brought to you by our friends at Slice in Birmingham, the great pizza and a great place for lunch.
Yes, 4 great locations. The original in Lakeview. There's one in Vestavia, one in Montevallo, one in Crestline Park. The concept created by the late Jeff Bajaya. Really missed that dude, but his brothers Jason and Chris continued the legacy. Make sure you get into one of those 4 locations and tell them the next round sent you.
First down.
Hey, when in Rome, Brown, it's Ryder Cup week. Practice rounds today. It's in Rome.
It is in Rome.
That's weird.
Yeah, of course, they've never played, obviously, in Rome. U.S., a very slight favorite, but the United States, it's been 30 years since they've won in Europe.
Okay, slow down. Let me ask a question. I didn't want everything you knew about this.
I can name all 24 players if you
Brian Harmon, Wyndham Clark on there. U.S., Europe, or I don't care this weekend on the Ryder Cup.
Well, I do care. I am going to hedge towards the United States. Obviously, I'll be pulling for them. But again, it has been 30 some odd years since they have won in Europe, so it is an uphill climb. This is Florida, Tennessee going to Florida. That's what this is.
On Sunday, will it make one of your
Well, keep
7
in mind,
TVs in your sports room?
It'll be over before the NFL kicks.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's early. That's right. It's early.
No, zero.
You won't get up early and watch it before the NFL
I will not
kicks?
watch one swing.
You can have the Jaguars Toy Story game on one TV.
You know what? Tell me this wouldn't be fun. High potent edible. Put heavy money on that game and watch that broadcast.
The Toy Story game, you'd be so confused.
Yeah.
They were
if the Rams weren't playing at noon, I would do that.
They were hinting like they are replacing the players on the field with Toy Story toys, and as they move on the action, it's like Woody running the football and the Army men making the tackle, that kind of thing.
I have been very confused by this promo.
No, I think that's what they're doing.
That's the way it sounds in the promo.
I've seen the promo a lot, and I'm very confused by it.
Second down.
This is the last week of the regular season. Some great playoff races going on in the wild card in the American League and the National League. Cubs play tonight in Atlanta. Cubs playoff or not playoff when the week is over with?
I think they're going to sneak in.
I guess they'll sneak in, yeah.
They're in Atlanta tonight, so
That's
they got to play
tough.
the Braves.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, but the Braves obviously aren't playing the way the Braves were playing before they clinched.
They're still fighting for a little bit. They want that home field advantage in the World Series, but I see what you're saying. Dansby-Swanson return game, the Dansby-Swanson Bowl tonight, if you will. He's trying to get the Cubs to the playoffs.
I mean, I think they'll get home field. You don't think the Baltimore Orioles can catch them, do you? I mean, they're 3 games
first of all, the
back.
Baltimore's got to get to the World Series.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another fight in itself.
That's a great point. Great point. Third down.
Third down.
This from the Hustle this morning, my newsletter. $12.2 billion will be spent on Halloween stuff this year in the U.S. alone. $12.2 billion. $700 million on pet costumes by itself, LT.
Costumes for pets?
For pets. Pet costumes by themselves, $700 million. Do you know what you're going to be for our Halloween show already? Have you thought about it?
I figured mine out over the weekend.
I got it.
It just popped up. And look, I'm never going to be able to top the Tupac, the original. So I've just got to go with whatever comes to mind. But yeah, I've got one.
So we're a month out. You already know what you're doing. You already know what you're doing.
I do absolutely know what I'm doing. Yep.
Rockstar?
You would look good as there's a brown bandit because you kind of look like him.
Is Halloween on a Tuesday?
I think it is.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
It is a Tuesday?
It is a Tuesday.
Oh, no.
Lunsford, do you know
Rockstar
what,
might have broken the code.
Lunsford, do you know what you're being yet? You know what you are?
I 100% know what I'm being.
Yeah.
This is actually my first Halloween.
First Halloween what?
I bet it with y'all.
Here.
I've been out of town and technically didn't work here one time.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Technically didn't work here.
So you were
an employee 1 year.
He was
Hey, so
just, he was
12
just a number.
12 can actually dress up, right?
Absolutely, he can. As long as he's got on a mask.
Yeah. So you were numero, the first one. You were just a number.
Yeah.
Forster, do you know what you're going to be? You seem like me, Forster. We'll figure it out the night before.
Wow.
Maybe not the night before, but no, I do not yet.
Yeah. Rockstar, have you thought of yours yet?
I have an idea, yes.
I hadn't thought of mine. By the way, the 3 most popular themes this year will be Barbie, Mario, and Spider-Man, all with major movies.
Yeah, you were a year early on the Kid in the
But
Box.
it's still fantastic.
You guys feel free to copy what I was last year.
A lot of people will.
Yeah, a lot of people will. Let's do fourth down.
Fourth down.
Also from the Hustle over the weekend, cereal, the business is in trouble.
Like all of cereal?
Cereal. It's serial killing, by the way.
The podcast?
Because
there's a leprechaun going, what do we got to do?
People aren't eating cereal as much anymore. Way down.
You know what it is? This is my theory, because I don't really get cereal anymore. Every now and then, people are so on the go, nobody sits down to eat breakfast.
Yep,
How many people do you think percentage-wise eat breakfast in the U.S.?
Eat just any breakfast?
Any breakfast.
37.5%.
So you don't even guess. So close. 35%.
Really?
Right
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know what? I never did until David Walls made the mistake of putting us in the mornings. And this is my old routine. I had never eaten, but I was getting up so early I had to eat something, and now I eat something for breakfast every day. I wish I could go back to not eating until lunch.
Drive by, I don't know what number David is up here, but drive by David Walls.
I tell him all the time.
So my question was, what is your go-to breakfast if you choose to eat it?
I eat the same exact breakfast every day.
I have
Same
for the
exact
last 3
breakfast every
weeks.
day. Yeah.
So I get. I don't make it, but it's ready. A blueberry bagel with peanut butter and jelly on it.
It's good.
It's
I don't like the
fantastic.
jelly part. I'd go peanut butter. I
fantastic.
stop at the same place on the way in every single day, get a turkey sausage, egg, and cheese on English muffin. To the point that one day they said, hey, we didn't get our shipment of turkey sausage.
I've ridden in with you twice, and you've gone both times.
But don't worry, I've pulled aside 5 for you just to make it through the week. I've told Total, don't sell any of those.
The place where, I bring a thing of Next Round coffee every day. Nextround.store to get your Next Round coffee. But I've got where, I drink 2 cups of coffee, and I only bring 1. So I stop and get a cup of coffee, and I get Forrester a cup of coffee. And this whole month, they've been giving just their brewed coffee for free, 2 cups for free.
That seems like a bad business plan.
So for all of September, so I've been like, Forrester, I got coffee again. I got coffee every day in September. I'm getting for free, but I can't take free stuff without giving something. So they have this, and all month long I've had it. It's waffle instead of a biscuit or a bagel on the outside with egg, cheese, and sausage in between. And Forrester?
So it's basically a ripoff of what McDonald's does. What is that thing called?
But it's better. It's better than theirs.
Yeah, this is better than a McGriddle.
Yeah.
How good is it?
It's so good.
Yeah, they talk so much about it. I stopped and got it one day. I betrayed my true love at breakfast, and it is very good. But I burnt the piss out of my tongue.
Yeah.
I ate it too quick.
Most popular breakfasts in America now, energy bars, protein shakes, and frozen breakfasts or fast foods. And that is our 4 Downs today, brought to you by the great folks at Slice.
4 locations for you. Don't forget about that $75 carry-out special, 7 days a week. You can get the 12 fire-baked wings. You can get 2 of the specialty pizzas. You can get the half pan of the salads, all $75. 7 days a week at the 4 locations. Local pizza, local ingredients. It is Slice.
And our friends at Milo's as well. Milo's Classic Burger for lunch today. Why not? And if you download the Milo's app after your first purchase, you get the original cheeseburger for free. Stuff your face, earn free stuff. Download the Milo's app today and start earning rewards with our friends at Milo's. Clay Travis is next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. NextRound.store. That's NextRound.store.
The Next Round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Super Speedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. As summer starts to fade, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pest, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight because we've got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight. Box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and let's show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your party. Take charge today.
The wait is over. Tonale has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonale offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonale leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonale.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
27 unbeaten teams left in college football, 3 left in the NFL. We're about to talk to the undefeated Clay Travis after LT tells us about Odie's.
So tomorrow night, the Odie's in Crestline, the original, will be doing Odie's team trivia. I have not yet been to the Odie's in Homewood, but I'm going after the show today for a lunch. So looking forward to that. Rodney Davis cooking up incredible food for 3 decades, trying to decide what I'm going to get today. Maybe that Diablo sandwich. It's fantastic. Great wings, burgers. It's a Birmingham institution, now 2 locations, the original in Crestline and now in Homewood, right there off of Broadway on Oxmoor.
Clay Travis is with us now. He's the founder of Outkick at Clay Travis on Twitter. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Clay? How are you today?
I'm great. How are y'all?
Doing wonderful. Thank you very much. If I ask you to handicap the SEC West, I think it's probably pretty clear it's down to 3 teams now. But how would you handicap those 3 teams? Alabama is at Texas A&M, host LSU, for the record there. But Alabama, Texas A&M, LSU, how would you handicap that right now, you think?
I'm not sure I would cut it down to 3.
Who would you include?
I think Ole Miss could beat LSU this weekend, right?
No, they're back in it if they do, yeah.
Yeah, they're only a 2.5-point underdog. At least they were last night. When I think Ole Miss is going to win that game against LSU. But I think it's wide open. And I don't remember, I'm sure it's never happened in a 14-team SEC where by September 23rd we had every team with at least 1 loss except for Georgia, Missouri, and Kentucky. and I don't think very many people think Missouri and Kentucky are, elite world-beating teams. They've just had very favorable schedules so far. Now, I do think Kentucky's going to beat Florida this weekend, and Mizzou has a good chance to beat Vanderbilt. So when you get to 5-0, I mean, I think you have to take notice of anybody, even if the schedules are very backloaded for those teams. But yeah, I think, look, we all know how crazy that A&M Arkansas game has been historically. Even though I think A&M has won 9 of the last 10 or 10 of the last 11, it's like they find different ways to break Arkansas's heart. But assuming A&M wins that game, then that obviously in College Station is going to be a monster game between A&M and Bama. And Alabama can take a commanding lead in the SEC West if they beat A&M, and obviously if Bama beats Mississippi State, which I think most people assume will happen this weekend. Then as mediocre relative to Nick Saban's standards as this Alabama team is, the pathway to winning the SEC West would still be laid out there. And by the way, I'm actually intrigued in the SEC East as well. I don't know what LT thinks about this. I know you guys gamble as well, but LT, like the line in the South Carolina-Tennessee game is one of those lines where I look at it and I just say, a smart man would just not touch this.
Yeah,
right?
Tennessee is going to smoke that ass.
I mean, 90%. I mean, in all seriousness, I think the line's right around 13. I think that is crazy. But when Vegas comes out and says that Tennessee is the 13-point favorite in that game, I want to run for the hills in the opposite direction because 80% probably at least of that money is going to be on South Carolina. So Vegas is basically saying what LT just said, that Tennessee is going to absolutely smoke South Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, they are, and this is a payback game. You remember how heartbreaking that game was for Tennessee fans last year. Hey, we'll get back to that. The important thing on the table right now, though, is the top headline at ESPN is the Swift effect. Kelsey jersey sales see 400% spike. I think you and I agree with this, and I said it a couple of weeks ago when the rumor was out there. First of all, for the record, I have stated there are two guys that I really don't like in the NFL. That was Aaron Rodgers, although he's done a pretty good makeover PR-wise, and Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce is probably the most talented tight end I've ever seen, but he's a blowhard. Don't like the guy at all.
God, I love their podcast.
Oh, my God. He is. Anyway, Taylor Swift is out of his league. What is she doing slumming with Travis Kelce?
I think it's a bad move for Taylor Swift.
Oh, it's a terrible look.
I mean, Travis Kelce outkicked his coverage here. Let's just talk about it for a minute. I mean, Travis Kelce, I believe, is 33. He's got, 3 years maybe given, and that might be an exaggeration because, as you guys know, I mean, NFL players just fall off the cliff usually anywhere outside a quarterback when you start talking about being over 30 in general. So let's give Travis Kelce credit and say that he can be a really good tight end until he's 36. What's the rest of his life like? He's an NFL Hall of Fame tight end, but he's done by 36 or 37. Is he going to go do like WWE? I honestly think that would probably be my expectation for him.
Yep.
And then Taylor Swift's just going to be dating a random wrestler.
Are they really dating though, Clay? I mean, like, he's been on record before. He doesn't date white chicks, and like Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift is the whitest of white chicks.
Yeah, look, I don't get it. It feels very strange to me. The whole thing.
Don't always on it. It's manufactured.
Yeah,
they've got a business agreement.
This thing will be over with by Halloween.
If you were the NFL and you could pick anyone to cross promote the NFL brand, is there anybody better than Taylor Swift?
Nope.
No, they can't get her to do the Super Bowl halftime. You think they could get her to come to Chiefs games?
What percentage of Taylor Swift fans pay attention at all to the NFL?
None.
20%?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a very small overlap, I would say, of diehard Taylor Swift and diehard NFL fans. So my point is, you're getting like it's a cross-pollination effect, right? You're getting a whole new set of eyeballs onto this individual sport. So I think it's brilliant from a cross-promotional perspective because, by the way, I bet there's a lot of NFL people who also are not that familiar with Taylor Swift. And so I think both tend to gain because I think that the overlapping audiences are not that substantial. But I think it's a poor choice by her. I think he's a dime a dozen.
If
I were her dad, I'd be like, you can do way better.
Yeah, I would too.
If you could get 10%, let's just say you get the rest of career earnings, 10%, would you take Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy winner, quarterback USC, destined to be the first overall pick in the draft, or Charlie Woods, Tiger's son, who just won the Nota Begay tournament in the 14 and 15-year-old class? Would you go Charlie Woods or Caleb Williams' future earnings?
I would go Caleb Williams because he's a more certain, outcome, right? You know that he's going to get a $50 million contract. The roll of the dice, obviously, is Tiger Woods' son is if he actually is a decent pro player. I'm not even worried about how many things he'll win on the tour, right, in terms of dollars. Nike's going to give him whatever he wants. He's going to have a huge sponsorship component.
He could be Anna Kournikova, right?
Yeah, right. I just worry about anytime you're looking at 14 or 15-year-old kids, and I know sports is a little bit different, but it's just so easy to lose your way when you become famous at 14 or 15 years old. I always say that if you want to compliment LeBron, the biggest compliment you can give LeBron is, he's basically Leonardo DiCaprio. And people say, what do you mean by that? Like, most of the times, if you're a child actor, the Lindsay Lohan outcome is far more common, right? Where Lindsay Lohan you go watch Mean Girls. I think I've said this before. I mean, she's a really talented actress.
Oh, yeah.
She had a lot of ability, right? And she just, got totally sucked into the Hollywood world and drugs and alcohol and, lost her way, right? And that's actually super common. So the Leonardo DiCaprios and LeBron Jameses, who are, how old was Leo when Titanic came out? Like 20, whatever he was. I mean, he was a global phenomenon, and he's gone on to make 10 movies better than Titanic, right? That's a rough guess, but I mean, in other words, he's been driven to continue to produce excellence in a way that is very rare. So, look, Caleb Williams is 20 or whatever he is, but you at least know that he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, and the thing about Tiger's son, the odds of a player being as great as Tiger and his son even being on tour are very, very low. Very,
well, I mean,
very
here's
low.
a way to think about it, too. Like, take away Tiger. How many times does a billionaire have a son who's more accomplished than the billionaire?
Right. I mean, you just look through athletics, not just golf. I mean, the Mannings are by far and away the outliers in this discussion. I mean, who else is?
Yeah, that's a great point to be able to produce. Now they got 3 generations potentially of quarterback excellence. But I mean, it's just very, very rare that, and Tiger's a billionaire. So what that kid has grown up with is, very different than the world that Tiger grew up in.
Are you telling me he's not going to U.S. Open qualifiers, sleeping in the back of his car, trying to qualify?
He ain't slumming it.
I bet he's not sneaking on, holes late at night and trying to get in a free round, right?
Right.
It's just a different world now, and I think you don't have that same level of hunger when you're the son of a billionaire. And I do think that hunger often is the driving force. Anyway, I mean, so I would take the older kid. I still think of them as kids as long as they're in college, but the older kid who is who has not been, who is going to be the first round pick and who has not been super rich as a kid growing up.
Did you take advantage of the free money Vegas gave out on Saturday in Eugene, Oregon? Oregon minus the 21?
I stayed away from that game. I should have. I took the over because I thought that Oregon would actually score more points, but I thought it would end up like, 58 or 56 or something to like 21 or 24. I thought that. So no, I did not.
Yeah, I got burned on that too because I didn't play the over for the game. I played Oregon's team total over 46.5, and it's like Dan Lanning went out to prove a point, and then all of a sudden he got a conscious in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they would score 55 or 60. What are you doing this weekend for SC at Oregon?
I think I'm going to lay it.
Yeah.
You mean SC at Colorado?
Yeah, sorry, SC at Colorado. I took Colorado. I think they're going to show that SC defense. I mean,
it's terrible.
So
yeah.
I stayed up late watching the game against Arizona State, and I don't think I can't imagine that Colorado is not going to be able to score 20-plus points against that defense.
It may be why Lincoln Riley never wins a national championship. It's the one thing I'm so puzzled by his lack of commitment to defense, and it's so obvious.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And that they can't seem to figure that out no matter where he goes.
What did you think of Skip Bayless's comments yesterday? For those that don't know, here's the quote: "There is a deep-rooted, venomous vengeance that is starting to manifest itself against Deion among white coaches." End quote.
Skip, it's ridiculous.
So pathetic.
It really is.
Well, I mean, come on.
He makes a fortune too.
Yeah, I mean, Skip is like 75 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just embarrassing. Look, everybody wants to kick everybody else's ass. That is the you don't end up a coach at a high level unless you are on the 99.999 percentile competitive. And so you guys know it's amazing that it works, but every single coach is constantly preaching to his team that they are disrespected. And that motivates 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds. And also, I think, grown men who play in pro sports. The idea that you're being disrespected. It's never been easier to find disrespect, obviously, in a social media age because it doesn't matter who you are. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. He's, better at sending spaceships to space than NASA. He's reinvented the combustion engine, and all those things. And if you just type in Elon Musk, people are like, "You suck. You're a loser." I mean, if the standard for Elon Musk is you're a loser, then we're all huge losers, right? And so it doesn't matter how much success you have in a social media era. There are people out there who say you suck. So, and I think a lot of kids spend a lot of time on social media, and I do think so. Big picture, I actually think that college football is in a really good place. And what I mean by that is there's been a lot of talk about NIL and transfer portal and how that's going to impact things. I'm big on, hey, let's look at the data. Like people say, like, how did you build Outkick? I looked at the data. Like, what do people like? I'm going to give them more of it. Like, this is not revolutionary. It's basic business. People really seem to like the way college football is going. I mean, 30-year high for Notre Dame in audience. These Colorado game audiences. I'm sure this SC game this weekend is going to be monstrous. And it seems to me that there is more talent spread around college football. Maybe this year is an aberration, but when you go to a 12-team playoff, I've always said the key of any season is making guys think that their teams can win the championship. And, we're going to enter November next year with 30 teams probably thinking we are 35. We have a legitimate shot to make the college football playoff. And I think that's just going to put way more eyeballs on everything. So I'm optimistic, bullish on the future of college football. But, sometimes it means that you have these crazy views. Like I couldn't believe right after that Notre Dame game that the first thing that Ryan Day wanted to talk about was what Lou Holtz said about his team.
Yeah, some 80-year-old man. Who cares?
6-year-old Lou Holtz
yeah.
gave his opinion on why Notre Dame was going to win, and Ryan Day seemed legitimately offended by it. I don't know. The amount of things that people say about me on a day-to-day basis that has no impact on me, I wonder, am I just super weird that I don't care? Like the idea that I would be like losing sleep over what an 86-year-old said about me on any level. Joe Biden could go to the White House, press conference tomorrow and just start taking shots at me, and I would laugh it off. He's an old, doddering dude in my opinion. But I do think people love conflict, right? And this is one of those things. No story works without conflict. And so the more conflict there is, as a general basis, the more people want to watch. And so we got some good conflict.
All right, he is Clay Travis, Outkick founder at Clay Travis on Twitter. Thank you very much for the time, Clay. Have a great week.
Hey, appreciate you all. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. We'll see you, Clay, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
We'll get so in between here.
What do you mean?
This is a lengthy, it's a minute 40 soundbite. Matt Wyatt coming up on the other side,
time.
but this ties in.
Clock's ticking.
Yeah, you always tell me time doesn't matter, Brownie. But tell us about our friends at A+.
Time matters, Jim.
Yeah, it does when it counts with you.
If you want to be rude to Matt, you make that choice.
Yeah,
if it's that good, we can come back to it in the 11 o'clock hour.
Tell us about A+.
A+. Tile Home Remodeling. That's who redid my bathroom. We bought our house back in 2015. We weren't crazy about the master bath. It's white. We kind of like the darker colors like our old house had. We said we were going to redo it. You do what we did. You kick the can down the road. You spend that money elsewhere. Finally, Jennifer Brown said, we're doing it. So she scoured the internet looking for the best out there, and she found Brad Bell, and I am so glad she did. A+ Tile Home Remodeling came and redid our master bath. It looks amazing. Their crews were so good. They worked hard. They were on time. They were clean. They were efficient. I have zero complaints. Master Bath and Kitchens. Master Bath and Kitchens is where you get your money back. Lance liked the look of mine so much, he hired Brad Bell for his. Exact opposite. Lance had a brighter, darker bathroom, wanted to go brighter. Brad did exactly what he wanted. He'll do it for you anywhere in Alabama. Brad can take care of you. 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
And a couple of Way to Wellness slimming jobs going on out there. ESPN announcing that they're closing their Seaport studios and likely their LA studios, which means layoffs could be coming again to ESPN. They expect to have both of those done before 2025. And 4-star wide receiver Nye Carr decommitted from the Georgia recruiting class. He'll be visiting officially this weekend. Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Oh, that's where Georgia's playing.
That's where Georgia's playing.
Watch his old team.
Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's Way to Wellness, Leslie, her board-certified team there to help you lose weight, get your blood pressure under control, cholesterol under control, no contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. Find out more. The website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. We talk to Matt Wyatt next.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at HydroLive. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. HydroLive's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone. Football season is here, and Legacy Credit Card is just what you need to manage your spending safely and wisely. Credit cards offer better consumer protection against fraud when compared to a debit card, which is linked directly to your bank account. Legacy offers rates as low as 8.9% APR on credit cards compared to major card providers who advertise rates as high as 29% APR. Look no further than Legacy. Open a credit card online in minutes at legacycreditunion.com/join. APR's annual percentage rate, rates, and offers subject to change. See website for details. Federally insured by NCUA.
You hear a lot of interesting phrases while playing golf, like, I think you're on the beach, or the classic, you gotta hit it, Alice. One word you're sure to hear right now at Bentbrook Golf Club is wow. Brand new carts with complimentary GPS, and the bent grass greens are so consistent, you just might drain a few more putts, Alice. Tee it up and find out for yourself. Book around today at bentbrook.com or call 428-1999. It's better at Bentbrook.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The next round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
You Alabama fans who may be heading over for a late night in Starkville, hey, why don't you hop in a Johnston RV?
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Cherokee, the number 1 selling brand in the nation, number 1 selling brand in Alabama. The best dealer in Alabama for Cherokee is Johnston RV, starting as low as $199 a month. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. That is johnstonrvcenter.com. They bring you the hotline, which brings you Matt Wyatt, the former Mississippi State quarterback, analyst for the Bulldogs, with us now on the hotline. What is up, Matt? How are you today, buddy?
Hey, boys. I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing fantastic. Thanks a lot. That was a wild game at Starkville. Just when you thought, well, I guess Will Rogers is not going to throw for any yards anymore, boom, all of a sudden it felt like it was back to the air raid for a minute.
Yeah, it really did. Or at least, the ball being in the air.
Yeah.
Now, the way they got it in the air looked a little bit different. And really and truly, if you wanted to kind of break down the film on it, what you saw was South Carolina, after State had played 3 games, came into this 4th game and said, all right, look, Woody Marks is averaging 100 yards rushing. The only consistent part of their offense game to game has been giving him the ball. We're going to shut that down. They had a 4-man front. They played 7 in the box the whole game. Their whole defensive scheme was make somebody other than number 7, the running back, beat us. So it netted State these one-on-one opportunities, right? And they started taking them and they started hitting them. South Carolina didn't really get out of it. And the deal was you go throw for nearly 500 and a bunch of big plays and scored 30 points on the road. But again, you give up 37, right? And the second week in a row that an SEC quarterback had a career day. Like, see, that's the thing. The week before, Jaden Daniels of LSU set an LSU single game record of 88% completions in that LSU game. You go the next week, Rattler goes 18 for 20 for all these yards. Like, he didn't throw an incompletion until way into the fourth quarter. So that, really we talk about offense and it focused on offense, but the defense has been just as much of a sore spot the last couple of weeks. And that showed up again.
So what do you think, though, Matt? I mean, through the first 3 games, Will Rogers averaged right at 25 attempts per game, then 48 against South Carolina. I know it's going to be a little bit of what the defense is giving them, but do you think it's more going to be towards the 40-plus attempts or more mid-20s?
That's it's a totally fair question. And you threw the caveat in there, and it is true, Lance. I mean, it is a little bit with this offense and with Barbet about kind of what they're giving you week to week, But yeah, I think what you saw is that for them to get going and score some points, they have to throw the ball. It's not an offensive line group who, I mean, they've got a ton of starts in that offensive line, but they're all in the air raid out there in pass pro. They don't have a ton of experience firing off and running the ball 35 times a game. So, and they're not there yet. There are too many mistakes and missed assignments in your run game week to week up front for you to be able to just go live with it. And so what you saw is it's going to require taking some shots. Will has always been a guy that took care of the football with all those pass attempts. Like, one of the things he had going for him is he would take care of the ball for the most part. Only a few games in his whole career where he got in interception trouble. One of those was against Alabama a couple of years ago in Starkville. But this is now, I think, a situation where you see he's going to have to be a little more risky than he ever has been in a pass game. Put it down the field and see if somebody will go get it at times. And so, yeah, to answer your question directly, it'll be right in the middle there somewhere. You want to be successful. You want to look up and see games they've won. They'll be in that 28 to 30 to 32 pass attempts. I would feel pretty sure.
Alabama's secondary is described as elite, but they got beat a couple of times deep against Texas. Is that why you think that's the philosophy? You got to take your shots against that defense?
I do think you have to. And Jim, this is one, again, it sounds like excuse making and trying to just throw the matchup away. I mean, there's a reason we go out there and play the game. But it's kind of like what Lane Kiffin said last week. I mean, Alabama is still a loaded roster in terms of elite athletes on both sides of the ball, and State is not. Ole Miss isn't. So that's part of it too. Several years ago, we laughed about it when Dan was coaching, and Mullen said, "Hey man, we're fixing to play them, and they've got more 5-stars on their punt team than we have on our whole team." And we laughed because we thought he was making a joke, but he was telling the literal truth. So that's what State's up against is, are you going to go out here and knock Alabama's defensive front around and run the ball for 160, 180 yards? Most likely not. So if you want to be in the game, you'll have to design some shots. And sometimes when it doesn't even look like it's there, you got to take it and see if you come down with the football.
I'm interested if you have I don't know how you feel when you go into a game. I always think to myself, we're going to need 24. We're going to need 31 to win this game. We're going to need 35 to win this game. Do you ever go into a game like that? And if you do, what do you think that number is for Mississippi State?
Yeah, I do. And a lot of times it's about how your defense is playing, right? And, it's a totally different – I'm kind of thinking through my answer right here.
Well, Alabama's hovering. 24 seems to be a magic number for Alabama's offense. That seems to be what they're scoring every week.
Yeah, I see that. Right. So I would – given having watched State's defense, missed tackles, you've had some problems in coverage. I mean, State's going to have to score. I mean, you got to be approaching 30 in this game just to have a chance. That's the way it feels. Now, stranger things have happened than, a guy or maybe an offense like Alabama's go on the road and struggle. We saw the turnovers against Texas, and One thing you are seeing with Milroe, I am fascinated with Jalen Milroe. He's so fast, and he's such an athlete, and seems like such a great teammate. And there's a reason he's there. But the one thing he's struggling with is when he is in the pocket and he's not throwing the go ball one-on-one that he sees early, and he's not running. No, he's in the pocket, and I'm reading against zone coverage in that intermediate, right? And when he's had to do that, he's made some mistakes. And when you watched Ole Miss's game plan defensively, they were trying, more often than not, to force him to throw against zone coverage in that intermediate from 5 to 15 because they wanted him to make a mistake. They got him in the red zone with that. So all that said, I just think you can force him into some mistakes, but it's a defense for State that has not forced very many mistakes here lately.
Matt Wyatt is with us. Matt studies the entire SEC, not just Mississippi State. You've watched a lot of games, Matt. You've seen a lot of these guys in person. How would you rate the quarterback play? You know the position well in the Southeastern Conference. You just mentioned you've seen the best Dave Daniels and Rattler.
Can I jump in with Rattler? Because if you take that Georgia game out, look, you played in an era where if you completed 50% of your passes, that was pretty at least solid. Spencer Rattler, guys, outside of the Georgia game, is 73 of 86. That is 85%. 6 touchdowns, no picks. Georgia makes a lot of quarterbacks look bad. Spencer Rattler can play.
He can play, no question. And, the athleticism that goes along with it. That's one thing you do see a lot, too, of these guys who get on these really hot streaks, Lance, is they are good enough with their legs that they don't ever have freak-out plays. You know what I'm saying? Like there's never a time where I'm throwing it, getting hit, because I'll move around and make sure I'm getting it off. So he does that well, and he's really locked in. And we've seen him 2 weeks in a row. Daniels is a very accurate thrower on the underneath stuff when you give it to him. They don't throw a lot of deep balls. But Rattler was like laser locked in. The only one, I'm trying to think of the pass attempts in the game, and I think the only one where he was maybe even like a foot off of underthrowing one was the go ball that wound up being a touchdown on the first play of the second half. Like he underthrew it by a foot, so it didn't matter. He's a really good player, and so many of these guys, we focus on quarterbacks and we fail to factor in who's around them because it's still a team game. And this again, Lance, think of it this way. This is not a knock on Milroe at all. There is no ceiling for an athlete like that. He just needs a lot of experience. What would this Alabama offense look like with Jackson Dart playing in it right now?
Oh, man. Hey, we had Joel Klatt on yesterday, Matt, and I brought up Cam Ward, the quarterback from Washington State, and he said Alabama would be by far the best team in college football, and I would have them to win the national championship.
Yeah, and look, Jackson Dart, some of their people, you know how it is with fan bases, they were complaining about him last year at Ole Miss when we go, and I didn't get to see him a ton last year because of game times and stuff like that. So we go play the Egg Bowl, and I'm seeing it all in person, and I was like, man, I'm impressed with this guy. He is tough. He is physical. He runs. He makes great decisions. He's an excellent athlete. He's a leader. He's making 4th down conversions, getting hit, still making the throw. I was really impressed with him. Wasn't surprised to see him win the job. And then you look at the way he's playing this year, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think they have that great of a team around him. I know they really invested in that running back, but they've sort of pieced it together for a couple of years now with transfer stuff, and now he's got his number one receiver is like a transfer. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Jackson Dart's had all this continuity around him, and he's still out there making plays. And you take an athlete like that at this point in his career, insert him into something with the kinds of athletes that Alabama has, it's a whole different story. So the quarterback play has not been bad in the league. It's just a little different, and I think it's a little harder to put your thumb on it because, Will Rogers went through a scheme change. Dart's playing with new players every year at Ole Miss. We write Rattler off, and he may be the best thrower in the league. KJ Jefferson's gone through a change of a new offensive coordinator. So it's like you need to see more games to really know what's going on. Well,
just wait until October 28th when you guys go to Jordan-Hare, because you've seen some quarterbacks in Rattler and Jaden Daniels and KJ Jefferson coming up. but the combination of Peyton Thorne and Robbie Ashford is going to blow you away.
Jeez.
What's
That's
that line in the
that's
movie,
my sarcasm at its best, by the way.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to go Tommy Boy on you and say, I'm picking up your sarcasm. And then you would say, well, I should hope so because I'm laying it on pretty thick. Yeah, they had a tough day the other day, I'm sure.
All right, he is Matt Wyatt. Late night over in Starkville, Bama, and Mississippi State Saturday. Matt, always good to talk SEC with us. Matt, thank you very much for the time.
You seem like the kind of guy who goes to bed every night at 9 o'clock.
Dude, listen, I never stay up past 9 o'clock. We're not going to be to the first TV timeout by 9 o'clock. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll be drinking more of this coffee or something.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matt. Have a great week, buddy.
Thank you. See y'all.
All right, Matt Wyatt with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Hey, I pegged that one, didn't he? Seemed like a 9 o'clock in bed kind of guy. He and my wife, man. My wife.
I wish I could do it, man. I wish I enjoyed mornings more. I'm like you, man. I love staying up late.
I like it when everybody's asleep or on vacation or out of the house. By myself, it's just that silence. I can do whatever I want to do and watch whatever I want to watch, play whatever I want to play, and not have to worry about anybody interrupting me or talking with anybody. Just silence. Peace in the silence.
And by the way, Matt Wyatt, one of my favorite guests.
He's a good dude, too, man.
Do you have a feel for this game, either one of you guys? I really don't.
Bama and State?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going – he pointed it out. I'd already thought of this. The last two quarterbacks they've played have roasted them. And now I do believe, obviously, that Jaden Daniels and Spencer Rattler are better quarterbacks than Jalen Milroe, but I think this is exactly the defense Jalen Milroe needs to face right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Jaden DeLaura, they turned him over 3 times in the first quarter and ultimately 5 times. But he still put up numbers.
Otherwise, yeah. I mean, if you could somehow ignore that.
What's the point spread?
Currently at mybookie.ag, Dunaway.
I think 13.5.
Yeah, I think I might have saw it tick up to 14.5 today.
Is that easy money?
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oregon easy.
Let me go to the late games here. I'm talking late games. Yeah. Right now, Alabama is a 14-point favorite with a total of 46.5 at mybookie.ag. Code next round.
Under.
It's even ticking up now.
Code next round.
Trying to get somebody to play Mississippi State at this point.
I'm just afraid for Will Rogers. He's already lost this game before he takes a snap. I mean, he's had a rough go with Bama.
And that's the thing I was going to say is, yes, he has struggled against Alabama. Alabama's defended the air raid very well. This is obviously a different defense, or different offense. But I think Alabama's strength is the way their secondary is playing. And I think Mississippi State's weakness is their secondary. And I think you couple both those together, that's a pretty good formula for Alabama.
Hey, the holiday season is upon us, and Legacy Credit Card, the Legacy Credit Card, is just what you need to manage your spending safely and wisely. We know there are scammers out there, right? Credit cards offer better consumer protections against fraud when compared to a debit card, which is linked directly to your bank account. That's not good to let them in there. Legacy offers rates as low as 8.9% APR on credit cards compared to major card providers who advertise rates as high as 29% APR. Look no further than Legacy and open a credit card online in minutes at legacycreditunion.com/join. LegacyCreditUnion.com/join. APR, by the way, is the annual percentage rate. Rates and offers subject to change. See the website for details. Federally insured by the NCUA. By the way, Travis Hunter, Colorado's two-way star, lacerated liver out versus USC. That doesn't surprise me. They were talking. There's a video out where he wants to play. Deion's telling him, worry about your health. You're going to change football later on. You got to get healthy again.
Love that kid's attitude, though. Lacerated liver, I don't care.
Yeah, he wants to come play for his guys after watching last week. Not going to play. Travis Hunter out this week. And Deontay Lawson, waiting to hear about him. You guys discussed it a little bit on Bama and Bourbon yesterday. What did Aaron tell you about Deontay Lawson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Nick Saban.
I don't expect him to play this week. How about that?
Yeah, Nick Saban said there was a chance.
Yeah,
I didn't really think, though, Lance, Lawson's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really think the defense missed a huge beat without him out there, did you?
Campbell and Marshall, who filled in for him, played really well.
That second half was a dominant defensive performance by Alabama.
Yeah, I think I remember, because I said it with you on Bama and Bourbon, I think I remember Aaron talking about how the biggest concern, Lawson's a great player, But what they'll miss most is him getting everybody in the right place.
Yeah, him calling the defense.
Yeah, you can go see Bama and Bourbon. Roll Tide Pods. Isn't that right, LT?
Roll Tide Pods, Jimmy D.
Roll Tide
It is.
Pods right there on Disrupt the Media. Go like and subscribe. The show brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. That look ahead at our injury report today.
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to write down. Call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Again, I got the procedure done 20 years ago. I've got 2015 vision, better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100 or online, michelsonlaservision.com.
And Denny Hamlin signs a new contract. He's staying in NASCAR racing. NASCAR coming to Talladega this weekend. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for tickets and details. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com for tickets. Hardy's in concert Saturday night. Truck race Saturday. Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. It's a playoff race. It's people watching. It's great country music. It's a great weekend. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
As summer bids adieu, get ready to welcome the arrival of fall. But hey, it's not just football season making an entrance. In the world of pest, it's fall invader season. Hold on tight, because we got 4 major troublemakers stepping into the spotlight: box elder bugs, kudzu bugs, ladybugs, and stink bugs. These pests don't just knock, they barge in like they own the place. But fear not, dial up Wayne's Pest Control now, 865-588-6686, and show those fall invaders who's boss. Don't let pests crash your fall. Take charge today.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes in Cart and Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. A $247 value for just $89. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
That's what I said, Brownie.
That's what she said, Jim.
Hey, by the way, listen, I'm no doctor, right? Do we know that by now?
Like medical doctor?
I haven't officially decided, but yeah, I'm getting close.
No doctor.
No PhD?
I did wear scrubs at one point in the 90s because everybody wore scrubs that were not doctors and stuff.
No, you did not.
You ever wear scrubs?
No.
Like around the house or anything?
Oh, like when I was like 8 to 10, I think I had a surgeon's shirt, but I never wore the scrubs. Like when I see somebody out in scrubs, you know they're not a doctor.
So when...
They're not. They're a medical device rep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A true doctor's not going to wear scrubs.
When my
It'd be like wearing your uniform home after playing in the Monday Night Football
You think
game.
you're going to pick up a woman in scrubs?
When Hallie was born, she had to go straight to NICU. And Jennifer, you remember it, or who was I doing the show with and I had to leave? Was it you? When I got the call?
It's either me and you or
no,
the three
it was
of
in
us.
December, so somebody was off. So it was
Okay.
one of the two of us. And I got the call and had to leave very quickly. It was an emergency C-section.
I can't
basically.
do a solo show, so it probably wasn't me.
Somebody came in and filled in for me. And I had to rush to the hospital, and Jennifer had one of her friends at the hospital waiting on me, and she's like, if you're going to go in, you're going to have to put scrubs on. And she's like, all I got are doctor scrubs. Apparently the color at that hospital was the doctor color. So when Hallie was born, Jennifer got to hold her for a minute, and they sent her straight to NICU. And Jennifer's like, you go with her. You never let her out of your sight. So I go up there, and the pediatrician is, she's yelling all these commands, put this here, put this there. And she looks across the room. She goes, are you the delivering physician? And I was like, no, I'm the father. She goes, why are you in medical scrubs? It's like this old army lady. I was like, this is what they handed to me.
Yeah.
Don't jump on me.
I had to wear them when I did the. Everybody had to wear them when you went in for the
C-section.
C-section.
Yeah. I just kept them on.
Yeah, and I had wear little footies. And,
Oh yeah, absolutely. The hat, bad hat.
Yeah.
Like I was serving fried chicken.
Never had a C-section.
You didn't have
I
one?
always had my Bama gear in there.
Roll Tide.
Wanted to see greatness for the first time.
Smuff says doctors don't usually need to pick up women they're already married to other doctors. Do doctors marry doctors?
I don't think that's the case.
Some nurses.
I got an interesting stat for you. Real quick.
Tell us about our friends at HydroLive LT. But I wanted to just, my feeling, I'm not a doctor.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Hey, we get lost in the weeds sometimes. I'm not a doctor, but I watch a lot of football. I would say Tennessee game next time you see Lawson on the field.
Oh wow! So you think he misses Texas A&M on the road? That's a big miss right there on the road. Now the good news is you'll have a couple games, basically half a game, and then this full game at State on the road.
How many more games till Tennessee?
3, right?
Mississippi State, A&M,
Arkansas,
yeah,
and Tennessee.
So yeah. You're probably right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be.
I don't know. Today's sports medicine, who knows?
Nick Saban was talking like it was a possibility this week.
We had a dude get shot and play the next week, didn't
That's
he?
a great point.
That's a
Brian
great
Robinson.
point.
Yeah.
Great point. Tell us about HydroLive.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It's all under one roof. Hey, look, if a nurse, if you can't actually make it to a HydroLive location, a nurse can actually come to your place of work or home. Again, go to hydrolifetherapy.com. Mention Next Round at checkout. You're going to get 20% off any of their great services. They're open 7 days a week. 2 locations in Birmingham, 1 in Hoover, the corner of 119 and Douglas Baker Boulevard. Also in Homewood, they're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Again, for more information, hydrolifetherapy.com.
Sir Douglas Baker Boulevard.
Excluding rivalry week. You got to drop rivalry week out of this. Saturday was the most watched regular season college football Saturday ever.
Deion Sanders is bringing a lot of eyeballs, by
It's
the way.
amazing.
Yeah.
They were number one. 10 million people watched that game, and it was a blowout.
Yeah, 10 million people watched Notre Dame, Ohio State, too. So it must have been a fraction.
It just edged past Ohio State and Notre Dame. I think officially it was at just under 10.
How bad did they beat Alabama Ole Miss?
Alabama Ole Miss was 4.5 million. Double the audience watched. And the Alabama Ole Miss game was a close game.
Yep.
Double the audience watched Oregon blow out Colorado. More than double, actually.
Yeah. Well, I think you got this time last year, Alabama
Ole Miss would have been the top rated game in the country.
Is the ratings winner.
Nah, not with Ohio State and Notre Dame the same day. Alabama Ole Miss would have been second behind Ohio State and Notre Dame.
Do you think there's, obviously Colorado has become a brand and it's the must-see right now, but even into the second half, knowing the game was over, do you think there's something about an audience hanging on, not only if they've got minus 21, but hate watching?
They're hate watching. There's no doubt there's a lot of hate watching
Well,
going
I said
on.
that going in. Remember, I said it would be number one, and you said, I think it was you, Brown, said, well, the blowout, maybe not. And I said,
blowouts
no.
don't play,
as many people love and hate, as many people hate them as love them. I need cut 9, Rockstar. Go ahead, Brownie.
12 billion total minutes consumed on all the rated networks. That's from ESPN, but it includes Fox, NBC, CBS, everybody. 12 billion minutes consumed. Clay was talking earlier about how healthy the sport of college football is, and you get a lot of people that said, I'm never watching again, NIL has ruined it, yada, yada, yada. The numbers don't support that. It is, television-wise, viewing-wise, the healthiest it's ever been.
Okay, now, Dan Lanning's asked about Skip Bayless's comment. There is a deep-rooted venomous vengeance that is starting to manifest itself against Deion among white coaches. That was Skip Bayless. And then last night, that was during the day, last night, Dan Lanning gets asked about Bayless's comment, and listen to what he does near the end. He actually compliments Deion Sanders.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk nationally about your pregame speech and your aggressive play calling. I think Skip Bayless called it venomous vengeance. Just curious what your thoughts are on that and kind of how your words have been skewed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Skip at all. I've never had a conversation with him. I've watched him enough to know how often he gets it wrong. So, I mean, that sounds about right. But, I mean, ultimately, here's what I say. We're playing to win the game, right? And you saw a 15-second clip from a window view outside the house of what happens in the locker room, right? I know our locker room. I'm in the house 100% of the time. I know how our players felt going into that game. And I know what it takes to motivate our players. That's my job, to motivate our players, right? He has a job. I have a job, too. To get out there and to perform on the field. But inside that house, they felt a certain way. They felt a certain way about a group stomping on the O. They felt a certain way about guys talking to them in the pregame. And I'm proud of those guys because what they decided to do is talk with their pads, right? They didn't want to do anything extra afterwards. They want to talk with their pads, and they did that on Saturday. I'm also grateful and can clearly acknowledge that the attention that we got this Saturday, in large part, was due to Deion and what he's doing to college football. And if anybody can't see what he's done for college football and how he's bringing excitement to college football, you're crazy, right? And I said that last week as well. He's done a lot for the game. He's building something over there. I think that's really, really clear. There's no secret there, but it wouldn't matter if I was playing my 10-year-old son on the other sideline. I'm going to do everything I can to win. If I'm playing Bill Belichick, I'm going to do everything I can to win. Did I go for it on fourth down? Yeah, I have every game this year, right? I've gone for it 9 times. Did I go for a 2-point conversion? Yeah, I've done it 3 out of the 4 games this year. And if we play again tomorrow, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do everything I can to win a game and everything I can to motivate my team.
Dan Lanning, everybody.
That guy is, well, he's making money hand over fist, whether or not Oregon's able to keep him or his next job. That guy,
he's a good coach.
I don't know how you don't like him. And, you talk about the hypocritical, we're all hypocrites.
I think the whole the world's full of them.
And I loved the soundbite, although it was really calculated.
Oh, it's 100% calculated.
But dude, man, if Oregon can close the deal here, which can be really difficult at Washington State, at Utah, that is a 3-game gauntlet. But if they can close the deal, I mean, would you guys be surprised if – and I don't know what big jobs are going to open this year, but I think everybody's coming after him.
He just did that new contract, and it was a pretty hefty contract as I remember it.
Pretty big buyout.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty big buyout in there, so it is going to complicate that a little bit.
Always wonder about fine print, Brown. I mean, would it leak out if he had an Alabama clause in there?
Because I have been on record saying I think that's the next coach at Alabama.
Yeah.
I think Alabama fans would love that.
I think the way he's coaching right now, you would. Now, there was one game last year where you watched him and you're like, that is a first-year head coach making mistakes.
Yep.
So any first-year head Kirby did that.
Yeah, Kirby was 8-5, and I remember some terrible coaching decisions.
Yeah, so I mean, coaches have to learn on the job sometimes as head coaches. You not everybody gets their first job off Broadway at Kent State where nobody sees you make those mistakes.
And this thing,
Marcus Freeman's making mistakes as the Notre Dame head coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, he just happened to get a massive job as his first job.
This might match up because I'm on record thinking this is Nick Saban's last year.
It could. It's going to be a hefty buyout, but I mean, if that's the coach you want, Alabama's never been given more money from the Southeastern Conference. They're about to be given.
Yeah, why do you leave Oregon if they're going to the Big Ten, people would say? You got a recruiting advantage with Nike. You got a big booster in the NIL world. That would be a tough pull. His recruiting is elite, but it's also really, really elite in the SEC and the Southern footprint. We'll see what Dan Lanning wants to do someday if Alabama ever comes knocking. Our friends at Wayne's started a company 50 years ago, and they are the GOAT now, the greatest of all time when it comes to pest control. Wayne's Pest Control has been serving our communities for over 50 years, and they've been doing it the same way from the beginning. World-class pest control, termite protection, and unbelievable customer service because they love you guys. You're a part of the family at Wayne's, and now they want to say thank you. All you have to do to get the thank you $50 off right now is go to callwaynes.com. Callwaynes.com today to enjoy $50 off pest control or termite protection. All you do is go to callwaynes.com, callwaynes.com, and if they ever ask you when you're talking to Wayne, just say, hey, I heard about you from the next round, or I've been a customer forever, but I watched the next round. They said you guys are celebrating 50 years. It's just a good thing. Callwaynes.com. Great people right there. Okay, here's what we're going to do coming up in the next segment. We're going to do Upset Alert, and we're going to see if the Brown Bandit is in the building again.
3-1 on the season. I hope he's here. Three straight.
3 straight.
Yeah.
So we're going to check. Number 12. Can you get number 12's attention real quick? Hey, can you, in the commercial break, can you run down and just see if the Brown Bandit's in the lobby? And if he
You'll
is,
probably
can you
hear
make
him.
sure he comes up?
Yeah, you'll be able to hear him when you get off
right.
the elevator.
All right. So, hey, and you're a big guy, 12. You may have to help him carry up props and stuff. There's usually props and stuff. So Brown Bandit and, measly upset alerts from LT and me as well. Coming up on the other side on the show, that's being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill, LT.
Hemp Hill Services right now offering that 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus free 10-year labor warranty when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train. Call them now, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. The Next Round golf cart is back and it's presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. For $89, play Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the renovated Woodward Golf Club. $247 in value for just $89. Or get bonus gifts with the Deluxe Golf Cart for $119. No restrictions, good through September of 2024, but supplies are limited. Buy right now at nextround.store.
Don't miss your chance to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Open 24/7, so come on in for non-stop gaming action. You'll find the latest, hottest, most exciting games around. And you'll love the fun bonuses and big jackpots. Plus, you can watch and wager on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. Your best bet for big wins is just minutes away at Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where you can be a winner too. Birmingham Racecourse Casino off I-459, exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
The Next Round brought to you by the biggest and baddest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Super Speedway. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming up. You don't want to miss it. The action kicks off Saturday, September 30th with the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, all leading up to the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs on Sunday, October the 1st. Be there to see these drivers battle for 500 miles to survive and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Again, that is TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. Do you need extra cash handy? Look no further than Legacy Credit Union for whatever loan your lifestyle requires. It only takes a few minutes to apply and request the amount you need to give you peace of mind. With affordable low rates and manageable payback plans, a Legacy Lifestyle loan is crafted just for you. Apply online today at legacycreditunion.com/join. Lifestyle loans from Legacy. Terms and conditions may apply. Legacy is federally insured by the NCUA.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, Tyler Forrester, Lunsford, Taylor Korn, manning our command center, social media center out there at Next Round Live. Everything, like and subscribe. including on YouTube, where you're watching us right now, also on Twitch and Facebook and on Twitter. Thanks for being with us today. Disrupt the Media as well, that YouTube channel with all of our great guests, including Bama and Bourbon yesterday with Aaron Suttles. You can get that as part of Disrupt the Media with Roll Tide Pods. We appreciate all the views and all the listens on our audio platforms, and including Coast to Coast this hour on TuneIn Radio. Thanks for being with us today. We got Upset Alert a little bit later on, but we're going to jump into a little football conversation, and I'm going to pick the brains of these two here to start off this segment. That's always brought to you by our friends at Champy's world-famous fried chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Put that picture up, Scott. There's Sterling right there, his great restaurant, 10 years, a decade there in Alabaster with those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, the southern fried chicken that he brines overnight, cooks it to order every time you're in his restaurant, hand-cut chicken fingers. It is perfect for the tailgate or to take home and watch the games, lunch and dinner as well. It's our friends at champyschicken.com. What's left in the tank for a couple of programs?
All right.
Clemson. What do you expect Clemson to do the rest of the year? Because they're obviously out of the playoff conversation for the most part, but they still could work their way into the ACC championship game, though they're off to an 0-2 start in the ACC. You tell me what's left in the tank for Clemson, a program used to playing for championships.
I think they could lose 4 of the next 5 games.
Whoa, Lance.
I really do.
I got to pull this schedule.
I mean,
up.
I think they'll beat Syracuse this week, but that is a tricky game, and they've had problems up in the Carrier Dome before. They've got an 11 o'clock game against Syracuse. I'll give them the win against Wake. Then they go to Miami.
That's losable.
I don't think they're winning that game. They go to NC State. That is losable. And then they've got Notre Dame.
I mean, those are all.
And you still got North Carolina on the schedule, and you got to go to South Carolina.
Yeah.
This could be a
losing season?
Not a losing season.
I don't think so, but it could be like a 6 or 7 win.
I think it's an 8-4 season. I really do. I think they've got 2 more losses on this schedule. And then the narrative really changes. Is Dabo ever going to be back in the mix as an elite coach, elite program, whatever you want to say?
But I think there's a reason behind that, too, is hesitancy to embrace the transfer portal and NIL. He has been outspoken against both.
Coach K did that to start with, too.
He did until he saw who? Well, Coach K did it with one and dones. He never wanted a one and done until he saw Kyrie Irving play. And he's like, tell you what, we'll gamble on this one.
Yeah.
And from that point on, Coach K was like, yeah, that's probably a pretty good way of doing business.
Well, Cal was doing it at Kentucky differently, so Coach K said, well, everybody's going to do it this way. I guess I've got to get off my high horse.
See, and I don't want to, because I don't know, but I mean, like, people around the program, I mean, is Dabo still, is he still grinding out? Is this still a big, passionate thing for him?
I
don't know.
I don't doubt his passion at all, but I do doubt his approach. I think his approach is curious when everybody else in the world is doing it one way, and it's working, and you just say, I just don't like the way that looks, so I'm not going to do it that way. That's fine to take that stance, but I mean, it could lead to some more 8-4s. You're gonna have to get really, really good in recruiting.
Here's Lane Kiffin, his news conference yesterday. He gets asked about rebounding from a loss to Alabama. I want to ask you guys what's left in the tank for Ole Miss. Here's Kiffin.
Our challenge is to get better this week. I did tell him, hey, we've been in a situation. Happened to be in the same situation 2 years ago. Went 3-0, went into Alabama and actually played a lot worse. And that game was 35-0 at one point, and ended up coming back from that game and going 10-2. So got a lot of football in front of us, and a huge one this week. And I would argue maybe the hottest offense in the country.
So you guys, one of you painted the race down to Alabama, LSU, and A&M. And then Clay said, "Don't forget Ole Miss."
Well, if Ole Miss wins, they're obviously back in the race. But the whole season rests on this game for Ole Miss, and what they did after Alabama last year is what Ole Miss fans are hoping they don't do this year. Their coach put so much emphasis on this game, and has yet to close the deal. And when a coach puts so much emphasis on the game, the program puts a lot of emphasis on it. And you just hope, if you're Ole Miss fans, Alabama doesn't beat you twice. I think they'd rather have anybody than LSU this week. That is such a tough game they got to follow Alabama with.
I just said that Clemson could lose 4 of their next 5. This is dramatic Lance coming out. They could lose 5 of their next 6, Ole Miss. I mean, they could.
Well, I mean, that's how they finished last year after Alabama.
They're a dog. Arkansas is coming to town. And if you lose back-to-back games to Alabama and LSU physically, they're going to be beat up. Then they got to go to Auburn. They get Vanderbilt. I'll give them the win there. They've got A&M. They got to go to Georgia.
Yeah, no, it's a tough schedule for
So
Ole
you're
Miss.
telling me you don't think they're going to get 9 wins out of this season?
I do not think they're getting 9 wins.
Counting their bowl game?
It's why I eliminated them when I brought that up to Clay. It's why I said Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M. They've already got a loss to Alabama.
But what if they beat LSU?
But yeah,
but just look at the rest of that schedule. That's my point. Even if they beat LSU, the odds of them of navigating the rest of that schedule, and they're going to need Alabama probably to lose twice in conference.
By the way, good college football game. Florida's ranked. Kentucky's almost ranked in Lexington. 11 a.m. ESPN straight out of game day this week. Here's Mark Stoops on usually the atmosphere in Lexington is better at night. Bourbon could be a factor. 11 a.m. kicks in Lexington. I used to work there. Not so much. Good for horse racing, bad for football. Here's Mark Stoops.
The new crowd just has a hard time getting to that level.
I have great confidence in the people of Kentucky that can get up very early and pound some beers. Why would you disrespect this great state and the great people of it?
That sumbitch cost me a lot of money on his backdoor covers. But that was a great comment.
That was a good one.
This will be the first time. So we knew that Florida owned this rivalry forever. This will be the first time in 35 years Kentucky's favored in this game.
Wow, 35 years?
Wow. 35 years.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and they're just a slight, skinny favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to this game. I can't read Florida. Kentucky hasn't played anybody. I think they're good, but I don't know.
You can go see The Burnout at Disrupt the Media with Peter Burns, show that we do weekly with him, and we made it a dating comparison. There's a dating comparison in this game, and it's Kentucky wants to ugly up every game. That's what they want to do. They want to try to make it as ugly and painful as possible because that's how they win football games.
So how do you analogize that with dating?
That Peter said, well, I'd like people to go watch it. People, you can go watch it if you want to know the answer to that.
Go watch it. But
go watch it.
You're talking about uglying up a game at Kentucky. What's Graham Mertz? His bra's stuffed with tissues.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point we get to there, yeah. I mean, you expect Florida to be one thing, right? You expect, historically, Florida's been the good-looking girl.
Sexy like Doring?
Sexy like Doring. And
I kind of expect Kentucky to win this
that's
game.
why I think, because I think both teams are playing that style of football right now, and it's the style Kentucky is most comfortable with.
But here's what gets interesting. If they do win this game, then they go to Athens. And that game, to me, would be for the East if they win this game.
Oh, there's no doubt it's for the East. What's the points?
Dramatic Lance for the East.
I know, man. I'm spitting it out today.
It's time for Upset Alert every Tuesday, brought to you by our friends at Moore's Marinade. The great Moore's Marinade started at a steakhouse in Jasper. Now it's all over and so good on your food, including vegetables, Brown.
Yeah, it's good on just about anything you want to put it on. The chicken, the steaks, the veggies we've used it on, pork chops, chicken. You could be a grilling hero this football weekend with Moore's marinades and wing sauces. The buffalo wing sauce, it's got a perfectly tangy flavor that will keep you licking your fingers even after the wings are gone. Dip, drizzle, or slather Moore's buffalo wing sauce on every single thing you eat. Chicken fingers, burgers, sandwiches, pizza, pasta, tacos, fries, and more. See why grill masters prefer Moore's marinades and wing sauces. You can do that online, mooresmarinades.com. You get recipe ideas and grilling inspiration there. mooresmarinades.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
Sound the alarm. College football's upset alert.
I like the one where she goes, woo, woo, woo. Upset alert time. The lights are working.
Hey, just to switch it up, I'll go first because maybe that will get you on the board.
Okay, let's.
Wow.
I think you guys have been taking shots at my pick through the whole show. Here's the leaderboard right now. Upset alert. Brown. Remember, if you pick an upset of 6.5 points or more and hit it out right, you get 3 points.
That's all I aim for.
Brown got 1 point this past week because his team didn't win, but it did cover. Lance has hit 1 super and 1 cover. Forster, can you explain how I've got 0 points? What has happened? What's 0? How do you score 0 in this game, Forster?
You miss.
You suck.
Yeah. Not only do you not upset your opponent, you get blown out and you don't cover the number.
I don't even cover.
Yeah,
USC outplayed Kansas State that whole game. I don't understand how Kansas State kept scoring. It was a gutsy effort from Kansas State. I watched every play of that game. What do you got, Lance? Start us off.
I am going to go to the SEC. Just when you thought Eli Drinkwitz has turned this thing around and Missouri is ranked, they leave Columbia for the first time this season We got Vanderbilt.
Oh, they got to go play at the construction site. Hey, wear your heart at.
Wear your heart at. Getting 13.5 here. Hey, the man that writes in hieroglyphics actually wrote that. That's pretty impressive,
That is
isn't
good.
it?
I will give you credit for your penmanship.
really good.
I took my time.
Yes, you did.
Simple black and white. I really like that.
Vanderbilt plus 13.5. You like them to win outright?
I think they could. I mean, would this not be so Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri?
Yep, it would be.
Are you paying attention to A.J. Swan, who has an arm injury?
Yeah, trust me. I watched him last week because I sent a group text out, and the next thing I know, he's throwing pick after pick.
Yeah, Ken Sills, a veteran guy, is his backup.
Yep.
He plays good.
He plays good,
don't
he? Everyone's been joking about mine.
We met his girlfriend at Floribama, by the way, Ken Seals.
Really?
Do you remember the bachelorette party we were talking to?
Yes.
At Floribama?
Yeah.
Where were they from?
It was they were Nashville, and one of them was dating Ken Sills.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought she sealed a singer. It was Ken Sills.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Seal the Singer made a lot of sense.
Seal the Singer's like 70.
People were asking.
It's the Floribama, man. There's no age.
People were asking why we were laughing at what Clay said about South Carolina.
Yeah, and I knew what you were laughing about.
What did Clay say earlier?
Well, he basically said, when I saw that point spread, I laughed out loud because they're just people at Vegas is begging people to bet on South Carolina, right, Lance?
Well, and I think Heupel is ready to unload. I mean, you know, the Florida game was a bad outing, a bad showing. He looked to be in a bad light, and I think he's got an opportunity to at least have a little revenge against South Carolina that cost him a college football playoff spot.
So you're saying Vegas is baiting people into taking South Carolina?
Begging them to take South Carolina done away.
Vegas doesn't always get it right.
Right.
Give me South Carolina.
Wow. How many hours did that take? Jeez.
Give me South Carolina.
Yeah, Rocky, we got a text at like 4:45 this morning. Hey, I'm taking South Carolina. He was already working on his art.
Of course.
Hey, from a distance, though, that's a good-looking cock.
That's a big cock.
I can't even get the line out. From a distance, that's a good-looking cock, isn't it?
It's nice, Jim. Good job.
Oh, even the top of my head is blushing right now.
It's kind of got a weird head.
It's red, too.
Yeah, it is.
I'll take South Carolina plus a 12.5.
Wow, that's a big number.
Do you want to go on and go stake on this one?
No, I don't want to. Not after everything you've said. That is actually a good-looking mascot.
Yeah, it's very good, Jim.
Who's in the building? Rockstar, who's here?
Let's see. Well, Brown left. Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
Hey, what's your name, buddy?
I'm the Brown Bandit.
Hey,
Brown Bandit's
you
back.
walk in a bank wearing that today? Just see what they do.
I've been in the bank in a while.
How long would it take for the old timer to unload his pistol?
Fella.
He'll drop his one bullet.
So for those who don't know who the Brown Bandit is, Brown Bandit started making picks. Basically, with our scoring system, you're rewarded for getting
He's third person now.
for getting an upset of 6.5 or more. So the Brown Bandit just started aiming for the upsets, and you know what happened? He hit them all. Last year, I picked group of 5 teams to win outright at Power 5 teams. Nailed them. Last year, I picked Power 5 teams that were struggling to beat a better Power 5 team. Nailed them.
Bad.
This year, just this last week, I took San Diego State.
Oh, a little off on that would surprise me.
Oh, I nailed San Diego State, Jimmy D.
How talking about the sound
Week
effect?
before the Jorts game of the week, I went with Florida. Nailed it. Before that, Washington State was playing host to Wisconsin. I went, and I got that one. Week 1, North Texas was hosting Cal.
Uh-oh. You didn't get that one right.
I didn't get that one. We missed on that one. But we're back. We're 3 straight. The Brown Bandit is 3 straight. And we're about to make it 4. We're going back to the Big Ten, boys. The Fighting Chili Peppers of Louisiana Lafayette. They are on the road at Minnesota catching 12.5. Laissez les bons rouler. Let the good times roll. They win it, Rockstar. They're catching 12.5. But you know what, Rockstar? 12.5 points. What do you think you can do with this?
You take them to Chili's.
You know what you do with them?
Hey, when he was drawing that, I didn't know what the hell he was doing.
That's what you do with those points. Throw them up the other. right out of the air.
Our neighborhood Chili's went out of business.
Yes, it did. Baby back, baby back, baby back.
You know, I struggle to get my degree because of math. I never do math anymore. But you struggle because you didn't finish French, right? Or is it Spanish?
Spanish I didn't finish.
It was a foreign language, but you lean into the foreign languages every week.
Yeah, I try as best I can.
Yeah. Like you will not find me anywhere near algebra or anything like that because I struggle.
Right. 12.5 points. Throw them up in the air and blow them out of the air, boys. We don't need them. Louisiana Lafayette beats Minnesota straight up. It is my laissez-les-bandes brûlés game of the year. Let the good times roll, Rockstar.
Rockstar, can I shoot my mascot real quick too?
See if you can shoot a cock.
No, that cock will be dead early on in the first quarter.
Yeah, here's Tennessee in the first half.
Hold on, Brown. Ready to take aim?
Yeah, unload an entire clip on that one.
All right, that is Upset Alert today. Brought to you in part by our friends at NASCAR. Racing this weekend at the Talladega Superspeedway. We appreciate the folks of NASCAR trusting us to make sure a lot of people are at the track in Talladega, and that's what we want. Saturday's the truck race, the playoff race. Get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You get Hardy in concert that night, Yellowwood 500 Cup race on Sunday. It's worth the price of admission just to watch people at a NASCAR track, especially Talladega. You get all the great entertainment as well, including Hardy in concert Saturday night. Great food, great times. It's TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com for tickets, and get there and enjoy the racing this weekend. If you're in the area or on your way to the area, thank you. Spend your tax dollars. We got a few potholes to replace in our state. We appreciate you being here. When we come back, trash with LT and a couple of more thoughts on college football this weekend. This is the Next Round.
Take the Next Round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not-for-all-ages podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
It's college football time in Alabama. This is Congressman Robert Adderholt. I grew up an Alabama fan, Roll Tide, but my wife, Caroline, grew up an Auburn fan, War Eagle. But no matter who you pull for, whether it's the Lions of the University of North Alabama or the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State or any other school in between, I want to wish all the players, the coaches, and especially the fans another great college football season here in Alabama. I'm Robert Adderholt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Adderholt for Congress.
It's NBA time, Birmingham, as we hoop it up with the New Orleans Pelicans and Houston Rockets, October 12th at Legacy Arena. Single game tickets are now available. Visit BirminghamSquadron.com or call 205-719-0850 for more information or to buy tickets. And the game is packed with former local players like Herb Jones and Kyra Lewis Jr. and Jabari Smith, and other superstars like Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. You can also become a Squadron season ticket holder to get complimentary tickets to this huge event right here in the Magic City. The Pelicans preseason game in Birmingham sold out last year, so get your tickets as soon as possible. Do that online at BirminghamSquadron.com or by calling 205-719-0850. October 12th, it's the Pelicans and Rockets at Legacy Arena right here in Birmingham. BirminghamSquadron.com.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes in cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. A $247 value for just $89. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 in Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Back with you on the next round as we continue on today, being brought to you as we always do this hour by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Home game for Thompson this week or road game for Thompson this week? Lunsford? Home game? Home game, yeah. So get by and see Champy, Sterling and the folks at Champy's Chicken. All the great Southern food there, including perfect for your tailgate. If you're taking it down to Jordan-Hare Stadium, just order ahead at champyschicken.com, or it's an easy pickup on your way to Starkville. If you're going over late night, you'll want some extra food, and that's what you get at Champy's Chicken for an 8 o'clock kick there, champyschicken.com. Sterling the crew there for a decade on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Texas Tech's quarterback Tyler Shuck is
can't stay healthy.
Out 6 to 8 weeks, broken fibula. He's done for a while.
It's been a disappointing season for them. I thought they would be so much better this year.
Me too. I am shocked that they are not playing better right now.
Connor Wegman is sprained ankle with some swelling. Not sure if he'll be able to go for Texas A&M in their next contest, but they got Max Johnson, who did great against Auburn. Lad McConkey back at practice yesterday for Georgia.
You keep calling it a unique back injury, which is what they keep calling it, which is such a weird thing to say.
That's how Kirby described it.
It's all anybody calls it is a unique back injury.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
I don't really either.
He's gone through his 2-week acclimation, which is NCAA rules. So he's done his preseason workouts. Going to see what he can do this week at practice. I don't know if he'll play at Jordan-Hare Stadium or if they'll save him for down the stretch, maybe that big game against Kentucky. And Forster, Tennessee, one of the reasons I like South Carolina on old Rocky Top this week, because it's a night game and Tennessee's not going to wear their classic uniform. They're going to initiate dark mode.
I don't get it.
Hate that.
I mean, I'm just a uniform traditionalist, so I'm never going to like any of these alternates.
I am too.
I say that. I kind of liked Washington State's this week, but they're far from traditional.
I did like that graphic, though, the video, didn't you, Forster? The turn to the dark there. That was well done.
Yeah, it was a nice little production.
Yeah.
Scott appreciates it.
I mean, that would
production.
be a not bad XFL uniform.
Yeah.
Tennessee doesn't need to roll that out.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to a funeral, their own, South Carolina this weekend, by 1 million. Got to lean into it, Brownie. Let's do trash today. It's brought to you by the great folks at Mortgage Right. Hit the big button, rock star.
What's that? H. What's H? That's a lot. It's heroin. Will it make me sick like the reefers did?
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, let our friends at Mortgage Right help get your financial house in order. Their team of experts can make sure you're prepared for anything that may come your way. With locations in Birmingham and Leeds, Mortgage Right offers a variety of loan products, fast and free pre-approval, reliable hands assistance. Take control today. Visit Mortgage Right at their locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-815-9200. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. You guys ever date a girl with a split tongue?
I have never dated a girl with a split tongue.
Would that be a deal breaker?
She's either a snake or Satan.
Well, a woman with a split tongue left fans baffled after showing how she eats noodles.
Oh, God, I can't look at that.
Oh, that's rough.
Wait, she can control one side?
No, so I saw the picture and I was like, that's pretty disturbing. But this is a still from her TikTok. Can I show you the?
No, right.
Her name V.
She can individually move the.
That's
side,
what I'm
right?
asking. So she can pick up quarters off the floor?
Okay. So so you're going to show us her actual tongue?
Okay, so
this is the video.
If you're eating at home.
Yeah, I don't know if I can watch this.
Okay. If you're eating at home, don't pay. So she.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, look. I mean, that's Satan. I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
Roxanne did. I think.
Oh, okay, let's see it one more time. One more time, Rocky.
No, I can't watch.
I can't believe I just saw that.
I really can't either.
One more time, Rocky.
Yeah, I'm not going to look.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say that.
I didn't know that existed. I'll be honest.
It looks like some kind of animal.
I've seen a lot of things in 50 years. I did not know that.
Does she have an
existed.
OnlyFans page?
I did not know that existed.
Rockstar, I'm worried that we're near the end of times here, and old El Diablo's already trying to take up residence here on the planet.
This is V. Duquette. She posts online under the username @VDuquette, if you're interested. She filmed herself eating a forkful of instant noodles. Anyway, there's nothing else to say. You've seen it.
Yeah, wow.
She's a weirdo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, LT, let's not call her a weirdo.
I mean, she may be a very nice girl. I don't know how you...
Okay, well, if she's not, then we're all weird. And she's
I think we're all weird in our own special way.
Clean it up, Dunaway.
You know, my daughter got the tattoo and didn't tell me about it, and I was blown away. But she's an adult. But one thing she can't do is cut her tongue in half like that.
No,
she was born this way.
She was born that way.
Are we positive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would work independently if you cut it.
Yeah, true. I don't know how somebody would do
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird people out there. There's a guy that wants to look like the devil. There's a guy that wants to look like an alien.
You can surgically have it done, but there are people that are born that way, right, Rockstar? I think is what
I've never heard of it.
Yeah. Because I don't think if you surgically have that happen, I don't think you're going to be able to control it like that.
Here you go. The body modification sees the tongue cut down the center, separating it into two sides that can move independently from one another.
So she did that.
The tattoo artist from Florida mastered the art of using her new tongue to eat. Yeah, she did it herself. So she's a complete weirdo.
I'm back on end of times here, and Satan's taking up residency.
I don't like her. She's got pink hair. Blonde or brunette, pick. Jeez.
Oh, my gosh. Did you guys realize it is cheaper to live on a boat than rent an apartment in certain U.S. cities right now?
Yeah,
I can believe that.
I believe that. I would guess New York, Seattle.
If you feel like I'll get to
Alexander City.
If you feel like rent prices
Alexander City
getting out of control, you're right. According to data from NerdWallet, the average 2023 rent in America is over $2,000 now, which is a 3.3% increase compared to last year. Now, it may feel so expensive that you'd be willing to move right off of dry land to find somewhere cheaper. In fact, according to Right Boat, the digital boat marketplace, living on a boat can save someone thousands of dollars a month. Now, the company took data from the most expensive cities to rent across the nation to compare it on how much boat slips cost in the same spot. Now, it found the biggest savings in New York City, where the average apartment is over $4,000 a month. In contrast, someone can pick up the average slip for $1,800, making over $2,200 in potential savings.
I tell you what, I think I'd rather live on a boat than an apartment.
Oh, I would.
No, you got the same space in New York.
I'm saying if they're the same space, Rockstar, and the boat is as nice as the apartment is, like given the choice, would you rather live in an apartment building or on a boat? I think I'd take the boat. I got privacy. I can go somewhere. You know,
like out at sea.
Yeah, I could just take my house out for a ride if I wanted to. I think if everything were equal, all things are equal, I'd pick the boat over the apartment.
Not to get into the late Jimmy Buffett's songs about one particular harbor or this or that. If James Spann jumps on your TV screen and says, "Seek your safe place," what's your safe place on the water?
I like it in the bow.
Well, in New York City, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
Now, a blizzard's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to walk and get groceries.
Yeah, the one thing I don't know is like, do I have to empty the toilet and all that? Now that's a down.
Does the girl on the couch look like a chick that used to work with us, BJ?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I had not thought of that.
She called me Marshall.
Yeah, same feet.
Really,
I don't know about that. Never saw him. We got a man suspected of driving under the influence, crashed his truck into a Santa Rosa business Wednesday before he entered the store and attempted to purchase alcohol.
So Ray's is an alcohol place?
This guy is a hard charger. Police said the driver, identified as 35-year-old Jesus Ortiz, didn't slow down his Toyota truck after entering the parking lot of the business. Truck slammed into the southeast corner of the business. Following the crash, he gets out of the truck, walks into the store, and attempts to purchase alcohol. He was detained, arrested, and charged with driving under the influence of alcohol.
Going to get alcohol.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was already
reloading.
Hammered.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was just reloading.
Yeah.
Weird.
You guys heard of the new dating trend, orbiting?
Orbiting?
I have not heard of orbiting.
Let me see if I can guess it. This is where, let's say, I want to date a girl.
Uh-huh.
So I try to infiltrate her friend group around her or her work group around her to where I'm in her orbit. And then eventually I hope to start dating her.
Like you walking into this.
Or on her social media as well.
Orbiting is a dating trend which basically refers to when you try to keep someone in your social orbit online. Now you feel closer to them via social media, where you can see what they ate for breakfast, where they're hanging out this weekend. It gives you a fake sense of comfort that they're still kind of on your radar. Now, research has found that social media not only gives you a false sense of intimacy with people, but also boosts your brain feel-good chemicals. One study showed being on social media for about 10 minutes made the levels rise to about 13%, the same boost as people experience on a really happy day, such as their wedding day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm with Dave. Orbiting sounds like you're one step away from a restraining order.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very close. Like, I think when you re-enter atmosphere, it could be with a restraining order.
So I've got the most and least popular slang for each generation. Now, remind me, baby boomers are...
That's our parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born in like 40s and 50s.
All right.
Yeah, right after World War II.
We're Gen X, right?
Yeah, you are. I think we're Gen X. I don't know. There's so many definitions. Like there's the
Okay, well,
cutoffs.
I've got baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. What is Gen Z?
Gen Z is Taylor, I believe.
Little T's,
Taylor
Gen
and
Z?
Tyler.
The
are
most
probably-
recent graduating
and EG,
class,
yeah,
right?
E.G., Taylor, and Tyler are...
Those are Gen
all
Zs.
right.
Okay.
All right.
So according to Preply, this survey, here are the slang words that are used the most. Baby boomers use bummer, mellow, and wannabe. Gen X, chill, lame, bummer. Millennials, OMG, chill, and lame. Gen Z, selfie, OMG, and ghost. Now, according to the same survey, here are the slang words each generation uses the least. Baby boomers, woke, Gucci, and sheesh.
They don't use Gucci a lot.
Yeah.
Gen X, thirsty, clap back, and slay. Millennials, slay, sus, and clout. And Gen Z, savage, POV, and is it skeet? I don't know.
That's...
Tyler, what is SKS, KS?
It's from... Okay.
Oh, no, Brown, what is...
No.
Yeah, boy.
Ask Tyler if I get it right. It's from Visco. It's kind of hard to explain. Let Tyler explain it. I think it has to do with Visco. Like,
He has no idea.
he doesn't have any idea?
No.
Where's little T and
You're such a
EG
weak
when we
Gen
need
Z.
them? I think it's got something to do with the Visco girl, and that's a social media platform of some sort or fashion, and that's what they say to people that think, like, as a slight that they're a Visco girl.
Meant totally different things to
It's
the
an-
frat guy in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's an interjection used to convey surprise, happiness, and other intense emotion.
Yeah, I was pretty much right.
And it is Visco. What the hell a Visco girl
Yeah,
is.
it's some sort of Visco girl, something. It's some social media, something.
Wow.
Yeah, the Brown Bandit's up
Yeah,
to date on
seriously.
his social media.
But, I mean, the two things I
Surprised
know.
Jimmy Current doesn't know this.
Two things I know:
Not-
picking games and Gen G.
And drawing red eggplants.
Drawing red eggplants. That's a hot pepper.
And that is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with Mortgage Right, who makes buying a home easy. Make the phone call today, 205-815-9200 or mortgageright.com/TNR.
And we're getting ready for a big weekend coming up over in Starkville. Rockstar, if you will. Get me cut number 5. We talked earlier about Will Rogers' struggles against Alabama. How bad has it been for Will Rogers?
I'll tell you. Give me 1 second, because I was looking at this earlier.
Give him a podium.
Yeah, here's Will Rogers.
That's true. What a weird look this
without
is.
a podium. Over in Starkville.
Man's nipping out.
I mean, I feel like I'm about to watch an American Idol audition of a kid that ain't going to make it.
On a chilly day in Starkville,
Yes.
Will Rogers talking about his struggles against Alabama.
Obviously, this is a SEC rivalry that state's struggled in recent years. Do you guys use that as motivation at all, knowing this kid and the opportunity?
I don't really think so as much as motivation. I mean, obviously we know we haven't played with these guys in a really long time. They've kind of had our number, but I mean, I don't think we really look at the past years or anything like that. It's two new teams. Each school has a 2023 team. So Alabama has a new team. We have a new team, and I think it's just going to be this year. You're not really worried about last year or the year before or anything like that.
Well, 2020, Lance, 147 pass yards, 2 picks. 2021, 300 pass yards, 3 picks. No touchdown yet. All right, so we're up to 5 picks here. 2022 for Will Rogers, 231 yards. Good news, no picks, but also no touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's never thrown a touchdown against Alabama, and he's thrown 5 picks.
Well, it's a fact that the late, great Mike Leach was very creative with his offense, but it did not work against Alabama's defense.
Yeah, they had that late score last year that was the first touchdown Mike Leach ever scored against Nick Saban.
Yeah, it is. Alabama has dominated this series of late. For 15 years. State has not won for a very, very long time.
So it can't get any worse for Will Rogers against Alabama is what you're saying.
I think it could.
Well, I guess it could. Hey, can you pull Will Rogers back up? This is a combination of James Franco and Johnny Manziel.
I could see that, yeah.
So if Johnny Manziel and James Franco had a baby.
Yep.
All right. I can see that. What would the nickname be?
I don't know, but James Franco got canceled, right?
I don't know.
No, I think it was the process started and it didn't complete.
Okay. Rockstar, do you think he surprised Mississippi State with his press conference? He's like, hey, I want to go talk to the media. And they're like, we're not at all prepared for it. He's like, well, I want to do it right now.
We don't have a podium. You don't have a shirt. I don't care.
But if I don't do it right now, I am not doing it.
We apparently don't have the heat on.
Yes.
Hadn't showered in a couple of days.
My guys, so weird.
All right. That's Will Rogers. That's how bad it's been. Speaking of babies, LT, there were people asking Ari Wasserman of The Athletic, what if USC and Iowa had a baby and their football teams had a baby, would you have a national championship contender? And in your deep thought of the day he said, you're assuming the baby comes out one way. What if it comes out with Iowa's offense and USC's defense?
Oh, Lord. Should have UMass.
It's a good point. I don't know how good Iowa's defense is this year. I know scoring defense, they're right up there, but I didn't think they looked really good against Penn State.
I didn't either, but then I have to stop and say they're on the field the entire freaking game, Lance. Their offense never gets first downs. They had 4 first downs that game.
Ari had a couple of points in his recruiting column this week. One, he thinks quarterbacks should have its own separate rating system. It shouldn't be on a 5-star, 4-star level like the rest, because it's obvious if you watch college football now that a good quarterback is more valuable than anything. And he uses Alabama as the example. He says Alabama, by all of our data, has the best roster in college football. Blue chip ratio, however you divide it up, Alabama's got the best roster in football.
Yeah, Clapp brought that up, yeah.
Except quarterback.
Yeah.
He thinks that they should start using a recruiting service where quarterbacks are rated by themselves and are not part of the recruiting class rankings for the entire class. It should be a quarterback class and a recruiting class.
The wild thing is you could let Alabama, you could give Alabama almost any Pac-12 quarterback, and they'd probably be your favorite to win the national championship.
Yeah.
If Cam Rising were healthy, basically I would just eliminate Cal, Stanford. I would even say Jaden DeLara out of Arizona I think's probably good enough.
Oh, yeah, if he doesn't turn the football over.
Yeah, and maybe you turn it over less for Alabama. I don't know. But, I wouldn't want Arizona State's quarterback. I wouldn't want Stanford's, and I wouldn't want Cal's. But if you get me past that, you give Alabama any of those quarterbacks. It is the one missing piece. And maybe Milroe can develop into something close to that guy. I don't know if he's ever going to be to the level of some of those guys I'm talking about there. But he really doesn't have to be. If Jalen Milroe is Blake Sims.
You know who Luganville on Monday Morning Live compared him to?
Compare Milroe to?
Yep.
Who?
Jordan Travis.
Well, if he played Jordan Travis's level.
He said if you go back to Jordan Travis's first year as a starter.
Yeah, he struggled.
Nobody wanted him.
Yeah.
But they stayed with him. He's grown into one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
And he did not play his best game against Clemson on Saturday, Jordan Travis. But I will tell you this, when the chips were down in overtime, he made an incredible touchdown throw, and it was a great catch as well.
Keon Coleman, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it's time for that multi-age tequila. The weekend's coming again. How about Maestro Dobel Diamante tequila, the only tequila aged in wood barrels from the Balkan region of Eastern Europe? You say, man, Jim, that sounds something a wine or a bourbon would do. No, they do it with this tequila as well, which makes this tequila so different than any other tequila in the world. Robust agave flavor in the Maestro Dobel Diamante tequila. It's pleasant. It's crystal clear, so smooth. I simply pour it over ice with a twist of lime. That's how good of a tequila it is. Ask for it by name, Maestro Dobel Diamante Tequila. One more segment to go. Stay with us.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
The next round is brought to you in part by the biggest, baddest track in NASCAR, Talladega Superspeedway. This beast is 2.5 miles of nothing but pure speed and always puts on a great show for the fans. The Yellowwood 500 NASCAR Playoffs weekend is coming and you do not want to miss it. Saturday, September 30th is the Craftsman Truck Series Playoffs race, followed by Sunday's Yellowwood 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs. Be there to see drivers battle 500 miles to survive. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Football season is here, and Legacy Credit Card is just what you need to manage your spending safely and wisely. Credit cards offer better consumer protection against fraud when compared to a debit card, which is linked directly to your bank account. Legacy offers rates as low as 8.9% APR on credit cards compared to major card providers who advertise rates as high as 29% APR. Look no further than Legacy. Open a credit card online in minutes at legacycreditunion.com/join. APR's annual percentage rate, rates, and offers subject to change. See website for details. Federally insured by NCUA. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention the Next Round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
DryTech Water Restoration is a locally owned company that specializes in mold remediation, fire and water damage cleanup, and SteraMist services. DryTech's goal is to provide clients with expert guidance when dealing with any home disaster. DryTech's highly trained specialists are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They will work closely with you and your insurance company to make sure the process is stress-free as possible. Call DryTech today, 205-637-0143. The moment you discover damage to your home, DryTech's team will handle the rest.
We continue on the next round. I was watching the Brown Bandit here, Rockstar. You got to give me a second to close that so it's not playing in the background. Still playing in the background, Rockstar. There we go. Got
How's
it now.
he doing?
Brown Bandit, he was making another pick. We continue on the next round. Coming up in overtime today, the latest back room. Were you in the latest back room, Rockstar? Were you part of that?
No, I was not.
You were not?
I was not.
I don't know what the subject matter is then. You could ask.
Don't they usually take shots at us?
That was early on. I think they've moved on for that. I think they ran out of stuff to
Ran out of
criticize us.
stuff.
It
Yes.
was Reed and Lunsford on the State of Disrupt Media. So take that.
State of the Union address.
State of the Union.
From Reed. All right, so that's coming up after the show and overtime.
Sounds like something good. You'd want a glass of Redmont. Sit down and watch a little back road. Tell us about Redmont. Big parties coming up this weekend down in Auburn.
Yeah, Redmont Vodka, locally owned and operated. Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind it. Their aim, color, and taste. Clarity, again, it is 8 times distilled. It is gluten-free. It's a local product. Ask for it by name. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. It's Redmont Vodka.
Here's one thing I love about working up here with, so many of your friends and family. Kelsey last year set up a deal where I got to go to a haunted house with the folks at Blakely's in Homewood. If you know me, I don't like haunted houses.
Right.
Taylor Korn videoed it. It's probably still on our platform somewhere. The next round, YouTube. Such a terrifying experience for me at Warehouse 31 in Pelham. Kelsey informed me last week, hey, next Friday night, we got it booked. Part 2, we're going back to Warehouse 31.
So it's this Friday?
Just to torture you?
So it's Friday coming up?
And this time, we're doing it live.
Oh, are we really? We're going Bill O'Reilly. We'll do it live.
We're going live on our platform. I assume it's going to be on the Next Round platform, but maybe it's on Disrupt the Media. But we'll be doing it live on one of those. We'll give you more details.
Do you guys remember the first time you saw something live on TV? Because I remember the first time I saw something, and it was Geraldo Rivero and Al Capone's vault.
Oh, yeah, that was such a
And boy, they
disappointment.
pulled everybody in on that.
Yeah.
I mean, what was in Al Capone's vault?
It was nothing,
It was
right?
nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Not a thing.
How do they even know it's his vault if nothing was in it?
Oh, I guess it would have been a skull at that point. But what if they would have found a head in there?
Ooh, Al Capone's head? Or somebody
Or
else's?
somebody
Yeah,
else's.
even worse.
All right, so that's coming up Friday night. I'm told your alerts will let you know when we go live, but around 6:45-ish on Friday, Warehouse 31 in Pelham, with our friends at Blakely's Bouquets.
I look forward to that. I want to see that live. Something we didn't get to yesterday in our breakdown of the Alabama-Ole Miss game was that weird deal where Alabama was confused about the downs because the officials on the sidelines were confused about the downs. And apparently the only people that weren't confused about the downs was the head official, but he didn't really do a good job of communicating it to the Alabama sidelines. And I haven't seen a statement from the Southeastern Conference. I don't know if they'll make one. But, man, in a bigger game, I mean, not that that wasn't a big game, and the game was certainly still in doubt at that point, but in a massive game, that could have been a huge error by the officiating crew.
But Alabama got the correct number of downs. They just didn't know which down it was, so they went on their first down. They picked up the first down, but the box still showed third down.
And they had not moved the chains.
And they had not moved the chains.
And so when Alabama lined up to sneak it to get the first, what they thought they were getting the first down, if you go watch, right as the ball is snapped, they start to move the chains. Now, I am baffled with all the technology and everything we have. We still literally depend on two old men holding sticks with a 10-yard chain between them. I cannot believe with all the technology we have, we still depend on that. But we still depend on that. And for some reason, they didn't move it. And it's not like Alabama was running a hurry up there. They had plenty of time to move it.
Well, you know what got happened. I mean,
the officials didn't communicate.
One of the guys running the chains was sitting over listening to one of our podcasts at Disrupt the Media. He was caught up in spitting lugs or something and didn't move the chains.
I hope he was. It's such a weird deal.
The USFL and the technology they show, that's all nice and everything. I like the chain. I like the drama.
Well,
I don't want to change it.
I do like the drama of the chain.
Yeah.
You almost never see it. Very rarely do they even measure anymore. Most of the time, if it's anywhere close, they just rule it on the field. I mean, how often do you see them bring the chains out to measure?
Oh, I saw it in the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, what they do it one time last night?
Yeah, there was.
They might do it once a game, maybe.
It was either a late game on Sunday or last night.
Yeah,
where they should have measured, I thought, and they did.
But see, a lot of times when you think they should measure, they don't. They just rule it right there on the field. I mean, very rarely. I think it's part of speeding up the game. I think they have. I don't know this, but I think they've discouraged the officials from calling the chains out. Just because it does slow the game down a lot to bring it out and measure it. I think if it's anywhere close, you get the first.
Yeah.
So coaches can't request, hey, I want a measurement there?
Used to you could. I don't know how that works anymore. But, and people were getting on Saban a little bit for it, like, that's on Saban to catch it. I don't know what Saban's supposed to do when they haven't moved the chains. The box still says third.
And he was saying, you could see him saying, nobody signaled first down.
That's right.
None of you signaled first down.
And because normally you'll see the official, I don't know what he is, the side judge or whatever, normally he'll wave his hand to the chain gang behind him to signal, let's go, it's first down, move the chains. Normally the white hat stands there and does a big first down signal.
I guess they think it's too cool now. Everyone knows it's a first down, so I'm not going to do that anymore.
I don't know.
But hell, everybody in the field is doing either this.
Do it one more time.
You ever see that?
Do it one more time on Scott's Catcher. I don't. Do they really do it under their nose?
They're either doing that, or they get up and they go.
You got a prop? They got a prop out there? What is this?
To get the first down. Those are the two things you do. So it's not too much for the umpire or the referee to give me a first down.
Yeah.
Give me a signal.
No, I agree. In a bigger game, I mean, Alabama, now look, they probably, I'm going to say the way Alabama was playing at that point, they probably either would have turned it over on another down or kicked the field goal anyway on fourth. So it probably didn't change the overall score. But could you imagine that happening against LSU or against Texas A&M? Or in the Iron Bowl or something like that?
Well, it felt weird as it was happening. But Alabama ended up getting all their downs. They ended up winning the game, so no harm, no foul. it wasn't Preston Gothard laying in the back of the end zone being ruled out of bounds at Penn State from the 80s, which I'll never let go.
Clearly.
Our friends at Hemp Hill brings you our final thoughts today. Our friends at Hemp Hill. Tell us about the lock. LancesLock.com is where you get to play. They bring you the lock every day.
Which one am I telling you about?
Hemp Hill brings you Lance's Lock every day. Tell us about Hemp Hill and a little bit about the lock today.
Okay, we can do that. Again, 0% for 60 months for qualified customers, plus that free 10-year labor warranty. When you mention the next round, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services, the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
What were you last night, 2-0-1 or something
2-0-1, yeah. We got a late backdoor cover with the Rams. Should have won the game. Long story there. But they pushed out on the 3. Once Burrow was listed as active, the number went from 1.5 to 3. Unfortunately, nobody was able to buy. So if you had the Bengals or the Rams, you pushed out on that game. But we had the under. That was a free play. We give you a free play each and every day. We had the Eagles. Easy winner there. I think we are up almost 15 units on the weekend, which is massive.
Wow.
So if you want to win, I mean, it's that simple. I mean, $100 a month. You can do an annual deal with us, lanceslock.com. We've got one free play up right now. Go to lanceslock.com.
Yeah, and, whatever your comfort level is, single day, monthly, yearly, however you want to do it. There's different levels.
Yeah, look, and I mean, a single day you might jump on where we go 2-0-1, and that's great. But there could be a day where you jump on and we're 6-7. You know, I'm one of those that I think you should try it for a month and see what you think. Gives you a bigger sample size. We've been doing this 9 years. We've only had one losing year in 9 years, and we're already winning again. So jump on board.
I'm up a few steaks. New York Butcher Shop for all your steaks. Get by there and see them. Jim and the guys will take care of you. Great steaks. Great. They have the daily meals. When is that? Wednesday?
Yeah, the meals are Wednesday. You sign up and you get an email and you go and get it Wednesday. Yeah,
the whole meal, easy to prepare there.
That's right.
New York Butcher Shop. There are 2 great locations there. Love those folks there. And Joe Namath joined the list of people. I've seen enough of Zach Wilson, the great Jet. Said I've seen enough of Zach Wilson. Zach's QBR this year. 27. It's not dead last in the NFL.
He's not the worst quarterback in the NFL on QBR?
Yeah. Starting quarterback who's worse than Zach Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Nope.
Scott would tell you Desmond Ritter.
Nope.
Oh.
Played at 2 different Power 5 programs in his time. One was Georgia, one was Ohio State.
Oh, Justin Fields.
Yeah. Justin Fields.
Makes sense.
He's got a worse QBR than Zach Wilson does right now. Does that surprise you?
No.
Yeah, I think a little bit. I mean,
he's been awful.
He has been, but if you had to take one into a game right now, the Rams have to have one quarterback. Would you go Justin Fields or Zach Wilson?
I would go Justin
Justin Fields in a heartbeat. Yeah.
The NCAA has now recommended to all levels for passing, and it should pass very quickly, to remove cannabis off the banned substance list. That from the NCAA this
I don't
week.
know why, I think their hands kind of forced here. It is legal in probably half the states now.
Yeah,
is that about right?
It's over 30.
Over 30. Yeah. So if it's going to be legal in half this, I don't see how you can have it illegal in a state where it's illegal, where it is legal. So, but then you can't.
Well, and I would use that in recruiting too.
But that's why you can't do it.
Yeah.
That's why you can't say, well, only half the schools get to have it legal. So you got to do it across the board.
Yep.
So I don't know why you would test for it anymore. It's legal in most of the states they play in.
Yeah, because trust me, I know people might laugh and roll their eyes about this, but if you had a kid that was coming down to a decision, and he could go to a place where he could smoke weed or take edibles, or a place that he couldn't, I think he probably leans the place he can.
Basketball cranked up yesterday with practice. Dana O'Neill of The Athletic, her Final Four, Michigan State, Gonzaga, Purdue, and an SEC team. Who do you think it is?
Arkansas.
Nope. Let's see how far we can
go. I think Kentucky's going to be good this year.
Nope.
Alabama.
Nope.
Auburn.
Nope.
Tennessee.
Nope.
Mississippi State.
Nope.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
Wow, she's got some Buzz Peterson, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Dana a girl or a guy?
Dana's a girl. Buzz Williams, not Buzz Peterson.
Yeah. And then the final thing today, Ronald Acuna is 2 steals away from joining the 40-70 club. He became the 5th member of the 40-40 club when he got the 40th home run on Friday. He is the only member of the 40-50, the 40-60, and he's trying to be part of the 40-70 club. Final week, do you try to get him this record?
Yeah.
2 steals away.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just 2 steals. Yeah, I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, he runs and gets thrown out. What's it matter? I mean, you've clinched everything you're going to clinch.
He slides in and breaks head first and breaks a finger, then you second guess it.
That is a problem right there. But you can't play in bubble wrap either. It's a natural part of the game. Yeah, I try to get him the record. He just needs 2 steals. That's all.
Just 2 steals.
Yeah,
and he's in the 40-70 club.
I'd try to get him the record. I'd send him early.
Send him early?
Now, I'm the one that thought I was hoping the Dolphins would go for the scoring record against Denver, and we took an E. So I kind of like – and, Trent Green –
when will you ever be there again? You know what I'm saying?
You're never going to be there again. Have
so why
70
not take
points? Yeah. He made a good point on the telecast as he said, there's 2 ways you can look at this. You owe it to your players and teams to let them be a record breaker. And that was what you would say about Acuna, right? If you're Brian Snitker, you owe it to him, if he wants to break the record, to let him try to break the record. He's worked hard to get there. But then on the other side of that, and this was more relevant in the Dolphins game than it would be in this, it's you don't want to show up the other team. They got families too. Now, I would say, personally, they're professional football players. They should have stopped it well before it got to 70.
Look, and really, what's the difference?
I know, 73 or 70. It was going to be a field goal at the end of the game. It was basically going to be the next to last play of the game, so it was going to look bad.
But I do tell you that a little bit of that was Sean Payton, as Bob is saying over there.
Yeah.
He sort of violated the coach's code.
That's right.
And then I do think that in that situation, it's almost – instead of sticking the sword through his heart and killing him, it's almost more embarrassing to him for him to lay the sword down and let him walk off the field. I did not put that record on your shoulders.
Because the Dolphins, what they did was they took a knee and gave them the ball back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they took a knee and let the clock run out, Jim. They took a knee on 4th down and gave them the ball back. They didn't even punt it to them.
Which is even more embarrassing that they have to run out and take the knee themselves.
And, of course, down 50, Sean Payton sends Russell Wilson out to hand it off. I don't know why he was still playing Russell Wilson at the end of that game.
Really crazy. Houston 5-1 last night. Justin Verlander was shut out into the 9th inning. How old is Verlander?
Verlander is
38.
right at 40.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing Tom Brady things.
Yeah.
Big part for the Astros. That was a huge win for them. They're in that race with Texas in first place. Houston now with a little gap over Seattle. Same 2 teams tonight, 9 o'clock. Cubs fighting in that National League wild card race in Atlanta tonight, 6:20 first pitch. 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. Arizona and the Cubs right now. Miami and Cincinnati's trying to knock one of them off. Big game for the Cubs happening tonight. Our post-show, our overtime today is what, Brownie?
It is the back room. Rockstar not a part of it. Reed Taylor, our company president, gives us the State of the Union, the state of Disrupt Media.
Reed talks on this video?
Reed talks on camera. Right, Rockstar? Is Reed talking, or is this?
I think he has note cards. He just
There's
shows
note cards.
them
He just shows them?
It's a
Okay.
yes or no answer.
Yeah. Is it a puppet? No, the puppet's the other one.
That's
My
the other
team
one.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
You know Reed can sign, right?
I did not know that.
Sign language?
No.
Kidding.
Oh.
Yeah. That is our show today. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Enjoy the little overtime from Disrupt the Media. Go there, like, and subscribe. Everything, including War Damn Pods and Roll Tide Pods. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.
Welcome in to the back room. John Lunsford with a special guest today. You've seen him on the back room, and you see him every now and then. The man behind the curtain pulling all the levers and strings and everything. That would be El Presidente Reed Taylor. Welcome back to the back room.
Well, man, thank you for having me.
Heck yeah. So last time you were on, we were kind of talking about, us leaving and us coming to do all of this and everything. That was early in the summer sometime. I've already forgotten when. But, in the back room, we like to talk about just goofy stuff with us because you hear from Jim, Ryan, Lance, Rockstar a lot more on the air. But you don't hear from Scott and I as much, and Tyler and all the other people here. But you also like to, peel back the curtain a little bit when it comes to the back room and show the back room, show everything that's happening off camera that, you don't really see a lot. And so with this one, we wanted to talk about all the changes we've made. We've made a lot of changes here for football season. This is actually our 3rd football season. Crazy to think we're in our 3rd football season now. But, things are different now than when we first started. Would you ever have imagined we would have gotten to this point when we first left?
Not where we currently are. I know some people didn't think we'd make it to the third football season from what I hear, but, we had a plan from day one, and it's changed dramatically, I would say, and it's because of the things we learned and, and getting to this third season, I would never have guessed we are where we are now. And it's just been such a long but fun process in learning and trying new things. It's got me really excited about not only right now, but in the future.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the future we saw necessarily. I know we kind of had the next round as a show, and we knew what that was. And, you and I talked about it a long time, and I know you talked with them about it for a long time to kind of help build what we eventually got to. But, as we head into our third football season, we're not just in Birmingham anymore. And we didn't want to just be a Birmingham show, really not even just an SEC show. Now, with the wonders of technology, even really in radio, you can listen to a stream anywhere, but you can definitely pick us up anywhere. But we've added to that, roster of talent as we go into football season, and really we're all over the country now with the people we brought in to do these extra shows.
Well, that's the thing about it. Like, people love the next round. They loved when they were radio, when we moved over here, and we're trying to figure out ways to kind of spread that. I mean, obviously they were in the heart and soul of Birmingham and SEC country and all that, and that's what we know, that's what we love talking about. But, some of these new shows gave us another element to hit up where, it may be you're talking about Brock Heward with the Pac-12, being able to add some of those guys with our personalities, and it was really, the guys, we kind of sat down and went through who do they really love working with, and, had the personality to match up with them, and, started looking at all that, and it really came together really quick. I mean, it's kind of crazy because there were so many moving parts, and I think everybody kind of ran around here with their head on fire. But, it started, it started a couple of years ago, and, I've told people before, but it felt like it was going to be like 6 people, and I'd never really thought about how that was going to expand or how we were going to grow because, all we ever knew was right here, right? And, when we started looking at this and seeing what people liked and, going on a video wasn't the initial plan or anything. It was because they did so well with their podcast. And, you had a vision for the video element. And I thought the biggest thing moving forward was going to be our app and it'd just be audio only. And the video thing took off. And when the video thing took off, then obviously we started growing in certain areas and we needed to bring more people on, bring more shows on. And, it gives everybody a chance to kind of see their real personalities, from everybody, from the people that we're our guys are co-hosting with, even down to our 13th employee. I think that's what's been exciting.
We said 13?
No.
13 people?
Seriously, though, I always thought, there would be like 6 or 7 of us, really. And it was almost the feeling that we were going to do a podcast and we were going to sit in the basement and, talking to a mic, the guys talking to a mic. And this thing took off, and all of a sudden you need somebody to handle video. And Scott, the guys knew from day one, Scott Forster, somebody that we wanted. And it's been huge for us. And you get to 13 and you look at it, and, we go the route of we hire somebody that takes on our social media full time. We have an intern, Tyler, who comes in here and works his butt off, and we saw his work ethic and how he fit into it culturally here, and he was somebody that we had to hire. I mean, I couldn't see him walking around without him being full time with us. Same thing with number 12. I mean, when we left radio, we had a list of people that we wanted to bring on with us when the time was right, because the biggest thing is we wanted to have a culture and a company that fit well together, and we identified those people. And everybody we've identified so far that we've gone after, we've landed, which has been awesome, and I think everybody's happy for it. We did miss on one, and that was, if that was their decision, they'd be here, no doubt. And it was things out of their control why they couldn't make it work, but that's what's exciting is we've had a lot of people reach out. We're going to continue to grow. We're trying to be smart about it, of course, but we get down to our 13th employee and Emily Grace, and I don't, I've told you before, but me and Brown are in the car, and she had sent us her resume, and we talked to her, and we made all these changes, and we didn't know if we wanted to push the limit on 13 people, and trying to be smart about it. And first time I talked to Emily Grace was with Brown on the phone, and I mean, as she was talking and selling herself to us, I was like, we've got to do this. We've got to make this work. We've got to figure a way we can bring her on, because she's going to bring a different element to our team, and she has, and she's done a fantastic job. I mean, and that's what makes this great. 1 through 13, everybody's busting it.
So when we first started, we were kind of in scramble mode. We had basically 2 months to get everything done. June 16th was last day. August 16th was first day. We came with the name Double Down Media, DBL Down Media, but we've changed. Why the change, and do you like the name? I actually came with the name. Do you like the name?
Yeah, I do like the name.
Okay.
I think it's good. I mean, when you brought it up that day when we were talking, we were trying to, come up with how we would describe, what we want to do. The Double Down Media part came from the DBL, because we're trying to find a show name first.
Yeah.
And it was always like, well, if we can't find anything, we can always do DBL. And then we're like, oh crap, we got to have a company name. And in that chaos of that 2 months, we put all of it together, and and I did, to be honest with you, didn't love that name. Thought it was, catchy with the DBL, Double Down, all of that, but we needed a change. We needed something that we could really, show off and be proud of. And I think we're at Slice Pizza, and we're talking, and you said, well, why can't we just disrupt? You said disrupt. And I was like, yeah. And then started, I was like, yeah, I do like that. And we started talking to everybody, and everybody seemed to pick up like, yeah, that's good. And then waited for you to come up with the logo and all that, and then seeing the logo, we're like, okay, that's it.
It was good. And I said this on Twitter. I saw Brown share an article about, a terrestrial property having issues and pulling off because of how few people were listening to it. And it's like, look, that name wasn't chosen by accident. The whole reason I, pulled that name out of the hat is because it is a word we use so much of disrupting things. And I think, we've done a good job kind of on the ground level disrupting things, especially here locally, doing things different. And, with the word disrupt, we've gone around. It's like, does it disrupt sports? Does it disrupt media? There's a change in focus. We almost went in one direction, and then we almost went in another direction, and then now we're here in the direction we're in, where there's, not an angle of football that's not being covered. Yep. But, moving forward, do we have certain goals that you want to hit that we haven't hit yet? Have you changed your goals? Do you have the new ideas in mind? Where could the future go for us?
Well, I think it's funny. It's like, you were in a meeting yesterday, and the meeting we had yesterday was about growing and somebody reached out to us, and sitting in that meeting, I couldn't help but thinking of like, we have a direction we want to go. There's things we want to do, and I think we will, get to that point. But it's been fun, and the whole time we're doing this, like the whole point that I think we all wanted to do, we came together, working together, is we wanted to do things differently for us. We saw things in the past that we didn't like. We were, not always in an atmosphere that everybody had fun in. Now, at times, we have a little too much fun here, and it can be a little scary. And some days I'm sitting back in my office and being like, what in the hell's going on now out there? You know, I walk out in the lobby and, you know, we've outgrown our space. But, you know, to kind of go back to what you're saying, you know, I don't know what our goal, I mean, it's hard to say the goals because I couldn't imagine that we've gotten where we've gotten. And to see things that we can do in the future, we got to work on first. We got to iron out some things. We got to, you know, we're going to need to add some people and things like that to get where we really want to go. And I think we can get there. I think it's also like every day something changes. And it's like the world. I mean, media, technology, something changes and then we have to try to adapt to it. And, you know, we're learning and I love, like, during the show, I see the people listening and viewing in the chat room. They got ideas and stuff too. And we love seeing that because, you know, it's things that they want to see and they want to hear. So we want to try to provide that as much as possible. So, yeah, I think we got some plans in the future. It's going to take us some time. You're not going to see much like right now, but behind the scenes, we are working to be able to provide more content, things that people are interested in. And it's going to take some time, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, we're literally sitting in the lobby right now doing this back and forth because almost every other room is being used. I'm back that way, so we have outgrown our space, but, you know, it's a good problem to have because we've done a lot of cool stuff. We have a second studio now we work out of. You know, it has been different than I guess probably any of us thought when we first started because it was just
totally different.
The show, and that was kind of it. And, you know, that's still very much the focus, but, you know, we've added so many different pieces from people in the building. We've added so many pieces from people outside the building, like, you know, Brock, Tom, Peter, all them. And, you know, it's almost like, whoa, we're doing a ton of stuff. And even still, it's like, what else can we do? You know, it's been nice to have the kind of the freedom to do that. Like you said, we still kind of have to back off and say, we need to be smart about this and all that.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I'm not one that's patient with certain things. Like, and you know this because I'll come to you and be like, all right, help me, talk me through this. Like, here's what we want to do. And like, how can we get there quickly? And I don't have the patience. That's what, some of this stuff is so hard when we wait out, you know, certain things we have to have happen first. And, you know, changes that we're about to make a change that our facilities manager is helping out with, acting facilities manager, to the studio. And it's something we've wanted to do forever. And we could never figure out exactly what it was. Well, we finally kind of all, you know, agreed on something. So, you know, little things that, you know, we want to fix, we're fixing them and trying to make it better. It's just, it takes some time, and I'm not the most patient person for this, but.
I'm not either. It is one of those things when you're so free and can do everything that there's always so much we wanted to do in the past that we couldn't do. And now it's like, we've done it. Let's do more. And it's like, we're ready to go, but we got to kind of pull ourselves back. Like you said, having all that freedom is a good thing, but also sometimes a bad thing.
Well, it's like in our office meeting, and Lance mentioned, hey, I've got another show we're going to do. And I kind of looked in the room and I could see some people like, oh my God, we're about to add something else to the thing. And so, you know, we want to continue to grow. We're just trying to do it the smart way, like you said.
I will say we've been in a lot of meetings, you know, over the last couple of years that, you know, it's like, here's avenues we can grow into. And then we kind of sit back and think, we can just do that. Oh. You know, we could just do that ourselves. It's not like, well, you know, we need to, you know, back in the day, it was all about syndication. Like, you know, if you want to grow, maybe we can get into another market or something like that. It's worldwide now. Like, I mean, we literally have shipped stuff from the store all over the world. I mean, we have listeners coming in from all over the world and everything, but it starts making us think like, you know, we don't have to just do this one little thing. We can do a lot of different things.
Well, and that's the cool thing about it. I mean, like, we can adjust on the fly. We don't, I mean, the beauty is, you know, we're trying to make decisions, you know, without just jumping into it, trying to make decisions where we think about it, think through it, all that. But the beauty is we can do it quickly, you know, as far as when we decide what we want to do, it may take some time to get there, but we can make that decision. And that's the part I love about it is we can have a conversation and be done with it like that, and start working that process to get to that point. So that's been like my favorite thing, we've done is we're continuing to build. I love building stuff. This is why it's been so much fun for me.
I like changing things just for the sake of changing. I don't know why.
You do,
but
I've seen it.
I'll come in and be like, hey, I want to change this to this, and it's like, why? I don't know. I just wanted to change it. But it's been nice to have the freedom to be able to, hey, at least have a discussion about it. I want to change this. Yeah, it's not that bad if I do.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I love about this is everybody is so bought into the company. Everybody wants to make it better and improve things. And like you're saying, like it'll be little things that I know I'll walk back to your desk and you'll be back there and you're playing with a new, outlay of the show and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh, I like that.
That's the number one thing I want to change all the time.
Oh, I know. Done it a couple times, and every time it's been a home run. So, but every time I walk back there, you got something new you're working on, and that's what makes this fun. I mean, there's nothing concrete that we have to stick with or do. If we want to change something, we change it, and we don't always make the right decision. I'll say that.
No, we never are going to.
We're going to step. We take a misstep here and there, and we learn. Beauty about it's learning from it all.
That's one of the best things about the freedom is that you're free to make mistakes too.
Oh,
like you're free to do a lot of cool stuff and have the freedom to have fun and all that, but you're also free to make mistakes, and then obviously you got to learn from those. So then the next time you don't make the same mistake.
That's what I love. I mean, the one thing I love is like us adding Emily Grace, our number 13. She was going to cover the Alabama-Texas game. It was the first game covering it, for us. And first of all, to be able to go to the Alabama-Texas game, I mean, she was all about it. We sit down and she was like, all right, what do you want? What do you expect? And I told her, I was like, listen, I'm not expecting anything right now. Like, I want you to go to it. I want you to have fun, get what you can. Let's, get as much, content as you possibly can. We'll figure out how to use it. If we go down there and it's a mess because of logistics and things like that, you know what? It's not a big deal. We learn from it. We'll go to the next one. And like, seriously, one of my favorite things is like that. I talked to her the next day on Sunday, checking in and see how she, how'd everything go. And her first thing was like, oh my God, I had the most fun I've ever had. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like, you want, people you work with, we work so closely together, but you want everybody to enjoy what they're doing. And sometimes we enjoy it too much.
We do, but we do enjoy it. I'm literally looking right now at Brown putting a bunch of stuff out in the hallway for our cool studio change that you were talking about. But yeah, so we want to kind of give a little look in as Brown comes in and walks into the door.
Hey, Wyatt.
See, that's the other thing. I want to throw this out there real quick. There's so much like structure in what we used to do that you had to follow certain times and stuff like that. Now we can kind of do whatever we want to. That if Brown walks in, it's cool. Hey, it's that's part of the whole point of this show, and something we could never really do before is show the behind the scenes. I mean, there's so many times I'd love to take the camera up and be like, let me show you everything that's happening right now, all the gears turning to make this entire place work.
Well, we've talked about this a million times. It's almost, we do need like cameras in here rolling all the time because you just never know. Like, I think about like every day or every couple days, Brown will always mess with Taylor. Because Taylor will be sitting in the lobby working, her head down working, trying to pull clips and put out some, social media stuff. And Brown acts like he runs in the door every day, and it scares her to death every day. And it's just fun to be in an atmosphere like that, and fun to see that people like working with each other, and you actually enjoy their company. And and that's what's the thing that we always got to keep. I mean, that's the most important thing to me is having good people here.
All right. So this has been the back room, a little kind of peel behind the curtain and show everything that we're doing. Also, I'll take this time to explain, because I know a lot of people do kind of get lost because we have done so much different stuff. So the company, we changed the name to Disrupt Media. It is just Disrupt Media. However, that name was taken on social media, so that's why we have Disrupt the Media, because we're disrupting the media, and that's why it's called that. So, so on YouTube, at Disrupt the Media is our Disrupt Media channel, where we have a lot of our cool new stuff. A lot of stuff, obviously, at Next Round Live. You can still, catch the show there, there. You can catch Mystery Fifth Hour there, Next Round Preps, a lot of different stuff that we do within the actual Next Round. You can catch there. And then, obviously, we want to focus on a lot of Alabama and Auburn stuff. It's been our bread and butter forever. And so we created War Dam Pods and Roll Tide Pods. Almost called it War Eagle Pods. I was about to be like, Lance and mess it up. But it was it's War Dam Pods, Roll Tide Pods. There we have a lot of cool content. Obviously, we've done stuff like Bama and Bourbon all in the past, and we've added a lot more. So that's how you can catch everything. You can go to nextroundlive.com. There's a whole schedule there too. If you're confused, click the schedule tab at the top, or I have a link kind of halfway down the page, just below where the pick 3 is now, where you can click that as well and get the full schedule. So it's been a lot of stuff, but also we want to make sure we get it all into your hands and get it where you can view it, and just keep doing cool stuff, really. I mean, hey, the thing I'm most looking forward to is when we get to playing Madden again, because that's some of the most fun we've had up here, and it's made for moments that we've been able to, turn into conversation really for the next year.
Well, you saw what we did to help with the Madden tournament, or the Madden League.
You let me win the Super Bowl?
No, we got a bigger TV for it.
We did get a bigger TV right there. So that's the thing, we're always upgrading. I mean, we literally have boxes and stuff all over the place because we're upgrading so much, and we have run out of room, and Brown literally has a ton of stuff right outside the window, the door right now to go work on the studio.
Don't walk in my office right now.
Reed's office has a lot of stuff in there too, as we're shipping out cool stuff from the store. Look, we're going to have more cool stuff in the store. It's constantly, how can we grow, but how can we grow the right way? And so we wanted to kind of sit down and talk about, look, here's what we've done, here's what we want to do. There's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon that we're still working on, especially once the end of football season, mostly what I'm talking about is winning the Madden Bowl again this year. But, with my 49ers this time, though, it's like a coach takes two teams. A coach
I didn't even think about that.
A coach takes two teams. Nick Saban taking LSU and Alabama to win national championships. I'm going to do the same thing with the 49ers like I did with the Titans last year.
I didn't even think about that. When you switched teams, you went from a...
Number 12 as the Titans now, so I'm the 49ers.
You went from a D to an A.
But I don't have a mobile quarterback. That's the problem. Brock Purdy can't run.
I will say.
Yes, Derrick Henry did a lot, but almost all of it was Malik Willis running for his life.
That is true.
And we played on an easier mode, so we're going to play on a harder mode this year, too, and see what that does. But anyway, that's the thing. We can just play cool stuff. And like you said, I didn't even think about the fact we got a bigger TV right there for our Madden League.
There was so much controversy on that play in the Super Bowl last year of was it a safety or not a safety that I felt like we needed a bigger TV to see it better.
Referees couldn't make the accurate call, but if you blow it up, you can see it right and see that it still was not a safety, and I ended up winning the Super Bowl. But anyway, that's been kind of a peel the curtain back, look behind the curtain, and we're going to stop now because now Brown and Wife are out there bringing stuff in. They're trying to be quiet, and they don't need to be quiet anymore, so we're going to end that. Thanks to MyBookie, promo code next round for a first deposit bonus.
Y'all are acting like Jim's doing a show where you can't interrupt it.
Yeah, we're cool. We're cool being interrupted because, hey, that's what's fun about it. So go to mybookie.ag, use promo code next round for a first deposit bonus. Thanks so much for them being a huge part of helping make all this happen, including the back room as well. MyBookie, they've been a great partner for us. Also Coke, Bud Light, all the cool partners we have here. We'll catch you next time.